start this session. Thank you. All right, so today I'll quickly share my screen. Just a moment, please. All right, so welcome everybody once again. So today we are here to talk about people who have gotten jobs through our program, and they are here to also share their success story. But before we delve into this, please, I want to make sure everyone can hear me. So, hi, Isosa, are you here as well?
Yeah, I am. Thank you very much, Khadija. So yes, we can hear you, and we're good to go. So just like you mentioned, we're going to get into how some amazing individuals, of course, have been able to transition and get jobs, what their story is like, how they started, like you, like each and every one of you on the call, and how we were able to help them transition. So it's going to be a great time. It's going to be an amazing time. That's something I can guarantee. That's something we can guarantee. Okay. So so Khadija, you're good to go. And please, shoot.
All right, so I'd just like to do a bit of introduction. So, who are we here at 10Alytics? So, we're an edtech company focused on specialized training in the technological skill, delivering comprehensive data services. So, we have helped over 2,000 people transition into the classroom to get their first tech job across the UK, US, Canada, Europe, Africa, and Asia. And our mission is to help people in the Black community, that is Africans in Africa and Africa in the diaspora. We also have our team of instructors from leading global companies like McKinsey, Microsoft, Amazon, and so much more. So here today, I'm your host, your co-host. I'm Khadija. I have over 3 years experience in human resources, strategic management, digital marketing, and also a content creator. I'm also a certified economist from Crescent University, and I've mentored over 1,500 developers and also helped 500 participants transition into the tech industry. You also have your host, who is Isosa. Isosa is a seasoned technology professional with about 5 years of diverse experience, spanning from data analytics, power platform engineering, business analysis, and is also the team lead at the training and operation of 10Alytics. So Isosa has worked across companies in the US, UK, Canada, Nigeria, and Singapore, and he has trained over 2,500 people in their fields. All right, so what are we here to do today? We're going to have a quick fireside chat where we discuss with our alumni. They'll be sharing their career success story, how they started, how they transitioned into tech, the processes it took, and how they landed their jobs. We'll also be discussing the in-demand tech skills and the pathway you can choose. We also discuss our growth internship program and our special discount offer. So you have to tune in because the best always happen at the last time. So you don't have to drop off the call. Anyways, you always get the recordings when you fill the form. So I would like to introduce our alumni for today. We have Pavel and Salami. So Pavel is a healthcare data and reporting analyst for Arizona Community Physicians and Abacus Health. Then we also have Salami Ayodeji, who is a senior associate quality data analyst for Flutterwave. So hi Pavel, hi Salami, are you on the call?
Hi, Kajita. I'm on the call. This is Pavel.
All right. Hi, Pavel. How are you doing today?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good as well. So, hi, Salami. Is he here?
Hi, Khadija. Good evening. How you doing today? Good evening.
I'm fine, thank you. Good to have you.
Good to have you too.
All right. Yeah, so before we delve into the main purpose of this session, can you give a bit of, can you introduce yourself, just a little background story?
We should go first.
All right, Pavel, you can go first.
My name is Pavel Ngaibe, and I live in the US, Arizona. Currently, I'm also a master's student at the Grand Kenyan University. I'm doing my master's in data science, and I joined 10Alytics last year in August, 2024. And I currently had secured a position as a healthcare data and reporting analyst with a physician-owned group here in Tucson, Arizona. So briefly, that's Pavel, and except you want me to say more. Yeah.
All right, that's good to hear. So can you tell us what motivated you to enroll into our program? What motivated you to transition into tech?
In Cameroon, before I moved to the US in 2021, I was a science teacher. I was a physics and maths teacher. So when I moved to the US, I wasn't interested in being in the classroom. I called myself retired teacher. My friends used to laugh. So I was considering what to do, especially during the COVID period. And I started, learning some of these different tools on different platforms. And I got interested more in using tools like Python and others to play around with data. So from there, I kept learning and was building more interest in data while picking up other jobs and slowly integrating into the community in the US. And at some point, I felt a little bit stuck. I was learning so many different things. My learning wasn't guided. I was everywhere. So I was looking at different platforms where I could learn. And the algorithms on most of these social media platform, when they see that you're looking at some of these things, they start proposing ads that are related. So I was scrolling one day on Instagram and I saw somebody talking about data analytics with an accent that looks like mine, So I said, okay, if these people are talking about helping Africans, succeed in this field in the US, why not click on this ad? So I clicked on the ad and I was sent to a community, a WhatsApp community where, they were talking about sessions to talk about the program as a whole. That's how I got in touch with 10Alytics, and the program also was very affordable. And I decided to join them in August, and from there it's been a smooth ride so far. So I think summarily that's my transitioning story into tech or data, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. You have a really beautiful transition story. Hi, Salami. How are you doing? Can you give us a bit of a background of yourself and how you transitioned into tech?
All right. Mine is very close to my colleagues' process. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So I knew the analytics way back as at 2021. Yeah. But then I was working as a customer service let me say experienced person, with one of the fintech companies here in Nigeria, but as a customer service person, right? And I'm someone that is very curious with numbers, then I love to play with numbers, but I don't really have an idea of what it is. So one day, a friend of mine went online, and said, I know that you have this love for numbers. Have you tried to learn online, check courses that can put you in that forefront? Or do you think if you start working, if you start searching for a job and you say you're a customer service person, you think people would put more value on you like that, like that? So I said, okay, what do you want? What do you like? What would you advise? So first, he said I should get a mentor. To be honest with you, there are a lot of mentors online, but you know, by the time you start checking different platforms, like my friend that said, yeah, and you start getting different guided ads, you know, different posts online to tell you, okay, join this person, join this community. But to be honest with you, I just wanted to learn. But to cut this old chase, right? I got to know analytics in 2021, and for you know, I reached out to them and I saw what someone like Accees and Efemina did online way back, and I just got this love, like these guys are whatever they can do, I think I can do the same, right? And ever since then, I bought myself into it, and it's been a smooth ride since then. It has been from one height to another to the glory of God, and that is why you are here today. Thank you.
All right, beautiful. So, Pavel, you mentioned you saw 10Alytics through an ad. So what were your concerns or doubts before taking the training?
First of all, during that period, I was since I was working solo, just studying from different platforms, and searching for jobs, and it wasn't working out. I first of all needed mentorship. I needed a community with like-minded people where we could meet often and talk about data. And first, my major concern with 10Alytics was, will this platform provide me with the right mentorship? Will these guys be a good mentor to hold my hand and carry me all through? Will I be able to connect one-on-one with people who can guide me? So those were my concerns. And when I attended those sessions prior to signing up to the class, I noticed that the the different people who facilitated the sessions seemed very reachable. They were very friendly, and those were the kinds of things I was looking at from mentors. And so that motivated me to join 10Alytics, hopefully knowing that that would lead me to getting in touch with people who can guide me to learn the skills, master the skills, and also hold my hand throughout the process of finding my first job. Yeah.
All right, beautiful. Ayodeji, so
Yes.
before you joined, sorry, I'm calling your two names.
It's fine. It's fine.
So you said you knew 10Alytics at 2021. So obviously you would have seen some videos about 10Alytics here and there. So when you joined the program, how was the instructors and the structure of the program like to you?
All right. When I did internship, and to be honest, I think it was majorly Accees and Femina. Then you know, they were too knowledgeable for someone like me. You know, they had a lot to dish out. You know, and you know, if you're hearing someone like Femina telling you, you can do it, and they just create the time. Do you want to be there? Yes, you can get there. You know, there's this motivation that both of them put into someone like me that had grew my instinct. I grew the love for data. I grew why I want to be out there, why I want people to know me, right? They made the process so simple. You know, coming to class with asking you questions about how you are first, how's your day, then about the practical, about the lessons you're about to learn, preparing your mind ahead of time, right? So these are the things that gave me a landing page, a landing page for me to gather all I was able to gather as at then and even now, and that propelled me to moving forward today. Thank you.
Yeah, so obviously you did projects.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So how did this help you in real world situation?
The project itself, had really helped to
Especially in your field of work now, like.
Yes. This really helped me to okay, because I work in the fintech space now. Yes, and this the project we handled then at sometimes, you know, when I first heard about doing projects and all, I feel, okay, how can I relate this with what I'm doing, right? And when someone like if I come to the class and I tell him, oh, this is what I do, and you say, okay, this is how to go about it, you know, they give you practical examples of where to get data, how to get the data, where to get data from, okay, where to put it, the kind of questions you have to ask, right? And this has really helped me how to clean the data, you know, make it very easy, seamless for people to understand, you know, because as a data analyst, if you have an unclean data or an unstructured data and you're presenting to the stakeholders, right, they will tend to ask questions that would push you to say, okay, I'm actually a data analyst, right? So joining this program and learning from people, the likes of Efemina and Ades, had really helped my strength. Had really grown my passion, and in my current place of work, honestly, the projects are really helped to give me a strong mindset to face the world on its own. Thank you. Can you still hear me, Khadija?
Yeah, I can hear you. Just give me a moment, please.
All right.
Okay, so while we're waiting, Khadija, there was something you said, Ayodeji, that really piqued my attention because I'm very excited. I'm the kind of person that when I see guys like you, like Pavel, like you as well, Ayodeji, excelling, it brings me joy. I'm proud on your behalf. It might sound a bit strange, but that's actually the case. And so you're talking about the project that you've worked on, how you were able to tie all of those projects into what you're doing right now, how you were able to get a job, all of that, how the relevance of the project that you worked on have come to shape certain things that you are doing right now. What I would like to ask in all of that is, did the project you worked on, did that come up during the interview? That's when you had an interview to get the gig. Did it come up? Because we all know that participants, so rather, we all know that recruiters would want to know what's your experience like. What have you done? That's a question that would always come up in every single interview. So how did you navigate through all of that? Did you talk about the project you've worked on? What was it like, really?
All right, thank you very much. Yes, to be honest, that question came up from my interview, right? And I was asked, have you ever worked on a project before? And thankfully, there was a project that I worked on way back then that I showed my manager, you know. And what happened there was, because after I finished, while I was taking training with analytics, I got curious, you know, with data. And one day I met my manager, I'm like, boss, can I get data that you use to school, you know, that you use for our team to get our KPIs and all, right? So she shared me the CSV file, right? So one day I just went back on my own, though it took me a while though, like a week. I sat down with it, clean data. So I built something with Excel. I took it back. Not knowing that would be my first ever dashboard that I would use in an interview, right? So that day I just got, so there's an opening that there's a position that opened in my office. I said, okay, do you it's a quality analyst role? And I was asked, okay, my manager said, yeah, dropped my name, recommended my name for the position because I just finished. I'm currently taking the course data analytics. I'm like, wow. So first question the white person will ask me was, have you ever won a permanent project? I said yes. He said, okay, walk me through it. So I'm like, wow. I just went into my system and I opened it and I said, okay, yeah, I think we were about something in the team then. And what I did was I gathered data, I took it into Excel, cleaned it, you know, I started doing a lot of pivoting, you know, transformation modeling, and I was able to get the total number of agents, those that had 5 stars, those that had this, that, you know. He was very happy to see that, okay, I was curious to know what is happening in my team, and I was able to relate it to what the way the dashboard should look like, right? So this was like, wow, I really appreciate your enthusiasm on wanting to know this better, and that was one of the things that I can't even forget, and I kept that dashboard till today. That dashboard.
All right, so Ayodeji, I know you did data analytics, right? So
Yes.
obviously you did Excel, SQL, Power BI, Tableau. So which one of these skills has been the most valuable to date?
to be honest. All are valuable, but what I've been using like day to day, I would say it's Excel, majorly Excel, Power BI, and little of Tableau. But like regularly Excel and Power BI, regularly.
All right. All right. So, Pavel, is this the same for you, or you have a different side of the story as well?
I think the story is similar. My role is in healthcare, and first of all, I want to say, Isosa, thank you for the smiles and the motivations you bring during the training. And it's a good positive energy that
Yeah,
guides
thank
us
you.
here.
Yeah,
And
thank you, Pavel.
there is this famous data set, I'm sure Isosa and you, Kadi, know about it, that talks about healthcare, where you have to look at revenue that is brought in by the different specialists, physicians, and then the kind of patients that we have, the number of patients they see. So that was one of the experiences that I used to share in my interview process, because mine was practically in that domain. We will have to work with there's one tool that I actually have no idea about. It's called Epic in Health. But because Epic also has an integration, a platform that uses SQL, the skills that I had from 10Alytics in SQL also applies in that area. But talking about projects we did at 10Alytics, something like the healthcare data set was a go-to um, um, analysis that really helped me to talk about managing, doing financial analysis for my current company. So that was a very good um, example that I use. And I want to say the hands-on experiences in projects in 10Alytics have really did really help me a lot in knowing how to navigate the analysis process from end to end, doing end-to-end analysis, getting the raw data, cleaning it, to getting insights and making recommendations, which I feel is helping me today in a great deal. Yeah.
All right. So earlier you mentioned before you sought analytics, you have been taking some courses here and there. So was it like any skill you lacked that you mastered after joining Analytics?
Now, I want to say that I had, like, I'll call it working knowledge, but being part of 10Alytics, those skills were advanced. So 10Alytics moved me from just having working knowledge to helping me understand the entire process. It's when you study something, I want to say like a science or engineering student, when you study something in class and then you go out in the field in doing the real work, that's where the experience is. And being part of 10Alytics was like taking all of the knowledge that I'd gathered from just doing course to course, implementing them into projects, and discussing with other analysts, deriving solutions and presenting those solutions. The presentation now feels like presenting to stakeholders. And I think most of the skills that I had from the previous learning were sharpened as part of being a student in 10Alytics. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Pavel. So, Ayodeji, so you mentioned when you joined 10Alytics, it was Efemina and Adeza at the time. So I know there's a motto in 10Alytics. Once you join, we start telling you to start applying to jobs. Correct? Yeah. So when was that moment? Can you describe the moment you realized it's time for you to start applying for job, and how did 10Alytics help you during your interview process?
All right, thank you very much. I think when I think, okay, it was after my Excel class, when we're about moving to Power BI, then I would say something like, now that you have, because when you know Excel already, you're a data analyst that can do one thing, clean data, analyze data, interpret data. So it is time for you, because there are a lot of jobs there that requires you to know, okay, that requires the Excel knowledge. There are a lot of jobs there that requires Power BI knowledge, but it's not as if I don't know Power BI, but I don't have the full knowledge of what to do or how to go about it. If I have Power BI, SQL, and all those things, are big tools that are meant for big people. Not until I got to know that, okay, the moment your mind is ready, and once your mind is ready, there's nothing you can conquer, right? So it was the moment we were about moving into the Power BI class, I started applying for jobs. But right from my own current company where I was working back then, I began to tell I'm ready for any role, any new role that has to do with using these tools, and that's really helped me. So as new roles were coming in, I just apply for it. I said the rules that has to do with using these tools so that I wouldn't forget whatever I've learned. And the moment you stop learning, that is when you start dying, right? And the moment you start learning using whatever you've learned, that is when you start gathering more knowledge into and knowing more, having more in-depth knowledge about what it is about. Right? So I started applying, I think the second month into Power BI, and it has been wonderful. And especially what Pavel said, right? There are some, okay, I remember one time I applied for an interview and they said, introduce yourself. When I started using this step approach that has to do with you knowing what's it called? Using this, I'm trying to remember this approach, seat approach. Yeah.
Okay.
The seat approach. It's really helped me, trying to know the situation of things, sit and start approach, the situation, how to answer it and everything. I use it a lot and it's been amazing. I'm still for it. It's been amazing for me.
All right. It's good to hear you really enjoyed your mentorship and employability sessions.
Yeah.
So was there a moment, looking back, was there a moment when you were applying for these roles, was there a moment you ever doubted if you were overly qualified or not?
Overly qualified. Well, there will always be moments, right, that you think you know a lot, right? And when you see opportunity, when you see job opportunities out there, you'll be hearing, seeing something like 5 years experience, 4 years experience, and you are just like 6 months into the whole journey, right? But the confident level that I have gathered, especially when I call them my mentors, the likes of Efemina, the likes of Isusa, the likes of Adeza, I call them because they've been there before, right? So they give you this, they build this point, this strong point in you that, okay, there's nothing you can't attain. So far you are ready for it. Just go and eat it, right? And whenever you have an opportunity, reach out to them, they're ready to assist you. And to be honest with you, I've met Asusa at least several times. I've met Efemina, I've met Adeza, and they've been able to assist in one way to ease some questions, some doubt that I've had. And I think it's been wonderful. To be honest, it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. Very, very wonderful. Very wonderful. Hello, can you hear me?
I think our network is
Yes, I think
an issue.
Khadija might be having some.
All right,
Khadija, are you
can
back
you hear
now?
me now? Oh, my
Yes,
network.
yes.
All right.
Can
Yeah,
you
so
hear me?
I was saying earlier,
Okay.
Pavel, so how was your interview process like? And can you give us a backstory of when you started applying for jobs as well?
Mine was, I started applying for jobs before I joined analytics. And it hasn't been a smooth journey. There were times that I felt a little bit frustrated. And then after I joined analytics, my confidence level went up there. And there were some jobs that I applied and I wasn't shortlisted for interview. And I called those companies directly. And they had to send my request to the HR. HR got back to me with email and said there were over 1,000 applicants. We took the most qualified and we cannot give you direct feedback. So that's the confidence that analytics gives you, that you know that you're qualified for this position and at least you deserve a fair chance to be part of the interview. And when you see a kind of a job posting and you tick all the requirements and you're like, I can get this job, I can do this job from day one, and you are not shortlisted for an interview, you have all the confidence to even reach out to them and get to the HR team and ask why wasn't I shortlisted to be interviewed, because I feel like I am the right candidate for this position. So Tenalytics gives us that that confidence through the training. And for my What was the second part of your question again? Sorry, I lost sight of that. Just
Oh,
being
I said you
passionate.
should give me a backstory of how you stay
Yeah,
applying for jobs and
yeah.
the experience, how you were, the interview process. Yes.
Yeah, my interview process, interestingly, was first of all, it's in person. Um, I applied for jobs, and at some point, I felt discouraged. Stopped for a few weeks, came back and continued. And I shared this with one of my mates, my cohort mate earlier today, that when I applied for this particular role, um, a few days after I saw that there was this white guy from my city who had looked at my LinkedIn profile. So I said, hello, I see that you've looked at my LinkedIn profile. I sent him a message and I like what you're doing. Your profile looks interesting. I'd like to learn more about it. I never got a reply from him. Anyway, that's part of the confidence that analytics also gives you. I never got a reply from him. And 2 weeks after, I was just checking my email. I said, let me look at my spam email. When I looked at the spam, I saw a mail that has been sitting there for like 2 days, asking if I was interested in coming for an interview, in-person interview. So I replied and, went back and checked. We booked an appointment date. So I went back to check the people who were inviting me for an interview on LinkedIn. And lo and behold, it was the same guy who looked at my LinkedIn profile. So the in-person interview was nerve-wracking. Uh, we had in-depth discussion on the tools, how to use SQL to mitigate certain processes, and also how to go through the reporting process after doing analysis. So my knowledge and skills gathered from 10Alytics were really helpful in navigating through that process. And I think a week or two after, I came back, wrote them a thank you message for sharing their experience and their life and what they do. And I didn't hear back from them still. So, but after 2 weeks, I got a call. I got a call from them asking if I'm available to meet with their CEO. So from there, everything went smoothly. That's when I reached out to Adeza. I told him that this is what I need. I need a professional reference from him. I need like the contacts and everything to add on my job application. And he was really quick. In less than 24 hours, I got his reply. And from there, we moved forward. And after my final interview, I reached out to him again to let him know the CEO was willing to work with me. So summarily, that was a journey, but to for the most case, sometimes it can be a little bit challenging when you know that you are qualified, you see the jobs every day, and you keep applying, and you don't hear back from those
Yes,
applications, or
consistency.
the normal story that we have moved on with more qualified candidates. But the the goal is to stay focused, continue to apply, and you hear back from that job that gives you the leg in the industry. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so you currently work as a data analyst in the healthcare sector, right?
Yeah.
So what's a typical day like in your day-to-day career? What's it like? Give us a little bit of tea.
Yeah, with the healthcare sector, our end users are mostly physicians in my role, and there are tasks that you have to communicate with these end users, come back and do analysis, and also provide them feedback from what you've been able to generate from the patient data. And there are also processes that are already existing that senior analysts in my company have already built the process. So somebody who is coming new like me has to work to optimize some of those SQL processes and then take on new projects as well and use the Epic system to run my analysis. So for a normal day-to-day, most of the tools I've learned at Analytics are applicable. I can still use tools like Excel if I want to just get an overview of how my data works. And part of my job is also to do the ETL process, where I have to source data from other places and then transform those data and load them onto the data warehouse that we use on the Epic system. Yeah.
All right, interesting. So, Deji, can you also give us a little bit of how your day-to-day job role looks like as a quantity data analyst for Flutterwave?
All right, so mine is very similar to Pavel's one, but mine is just in the fintech space, right? So every day, ensure get to the data where we store our data, bring them in using the ECL process definitely, bring them into the where we usually keep data, and what we do mostly is I and my team we get there, we spool the data as early as possible because there's always a meeting every day, like every day must be one meeting or the other. So the meeting, ensure that there are updates when there are updates, ensure that my other colleagues are getting data from where it's supposed to be gotten from. Why I focus on, okay, are these data properly spooled? Are we supposed to have this one here? Are there any abnormality here? So once all these are checked, clean data properly, make sure that they are structured. Once this is fine, put them into Power BI, share your insights with the right people, the right stakeholders, and they bombard you with questions. Why do you have this here? Why do you have this here? Then you start acting your head like, okay, also done. My slide here says this, my slide here says that. Then a day-to-day life of a data analyst is not funny, because you are always right there before the numbers, you're right there looking at what is happening, trying to answer, okay, why did this happen here? What are we looking at in the next few days, in the next few weeks, in the next few months, right? So my day-to-day has been, it's always an engaging one for me. And I think I'm happy because I like numbers. So some days are challenging whereby you get questions that you won't be able to answer at that particular instance, especially when the server is down, you understand, and you are worried, because when the server is up, you have to just work double shifts, to ensure that these things are properly settled, So it's a wonderful one for me, definitely. But at least I love what I'm doing. And thanks to God.
Yeah, I love the fact that you love what you're doing and you are happy talking about it. And you guys will have similar interesting stories. So for someone who wants to transition into tech and has no background of what data analytics is all about, what's the word of advice you would give them?
Okay, for me, right?
Yeah, let me start with you.
Okay, for me, I would say, don't push it. Just join. There are a lot of people that don't know anything about data, right? Be open-minded to questions. Be ready to ask questions, right? The water might be deep, but on the surface is not deep, right? Just get in there. Always ensure that you are ready. Just keep an open mind, right? And for everything you want to learn, these penalties are ready to give you the right pathway, the right structure, the right process from scratch to finish. So it's from a novice level to an advanced level, definitely.
Oh, I love that. So Pavel, what's your word of advice?
For me, I just want to say that I first of all joined analytics with a working knowledge, but when coming, it was simple, a humble beginning. I had to empty all of my container to come with a big basin, willing to learn. And the one thing that I appreciated about analytics is there's a lot of resources. There's a learning platform. The the classes are there, the material is there. I first of all want to advise those who are willing to, everybody else, first of all, I'm sure that they will join. That 72 participants on this call. They'll all join. Make use of the learning material, please. When you make use of the learning material and then you come to the live class, ask questions, push the facilitators or the instructors are very patient and kind. They were patient to an extent that at some point I was very annoyed with the students and the fact that they are pulling everybody behind. I think you have Salami. I think you had that experience. So the facilitators are very patient. They understand that the students are not at the same level. So they'll want to break it down to see that everybody is learning. That's why they have the drop-in sessions after the live classes. There's also another class after for those who are still lagging to still help them and push them forward. But I'll encourage everyone to have that open-mindedness, that willingness to learn. within 10Alytics and outside of 10Alytics, look for more resources. Just be eager to know more, eager to be in that continuous learning loop, and you grow. As much as you put in, that's as much as you get from this program. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. So there's a comment in the chat. So Veronique said, "Hi, I'm still new in the healthcare field, but would really love to be guided on the right course to do related to healthcare." So Veronique, just stay to the end because ISOSA will be taking over now, and you'll be explaining these tech courses and skills you need in your career. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. Aisha, would you
Yeah.
like to speak? All right.
Yeah, thank you very much, Khadija, and thank you, Pavel. Thank you, Ayodeji, for joining us today. It's been very great listening to you guys speak, right? I know my video was not turned in throughout, but that was because I was smiling so much. People would think I'm the one that is here to give my testimonial on how 10Alytics helped me get a job. Okay. And so I didn't want to steal the spotlight from you, Pavel, or from you, Ayodeji. And it's the reason why I decided that, okay, you know what? Why don't I just stay in the background a little? Because I'm very, very much excited. I'm glad that you've been able to achieve your goals. The reason why you joined analytics, you've been able to get that. And of course, going forward, it's just gonna be bigger from here. Okay, it's just gonna be bigger from here. The next goal, the next job, the next career, it's just gonna be better, and even better, because something that I understand, and I'm sure you guys understand this as well now, seeing that you have amazing careers, is that getting the next job is usually easier than getting that very first job. Okay, the very first one is where you have to put in, okay, you have to apply to 1,001 jobs, 2,000 jobs, 2,000 jobs. But after you've gotten that first one and you desire, okay, I want to move on to the next big thing where my salary is tripled or quadrupled, it's easier because you already know the right things to do. And one thing about recruiters is that they love to have what others have. The fact that you are employed, the fact that you've worked, the fact you have that experience, it means you're very good. You're good enough for a company to want to bring you in. So I would want to bring you in as well.
No,
It seems Pavel has something to say. Yeah, go
I just
ahead.
want to, when I asked my current recruiter, the head of our team, about advancements and growth, he just told me that if you're very productive, they'll want to pay you and keep you well because people are offering better salaries out there and they will not want to lose anyone who is productive. So just in line with what you're saying, yeah.
Exactly. That's very true. And from what there was a research, okay, at the start of the year, Robert Hooke. I don't know if you're familiar with Robert Hooke. So they had a 2025 prediction. And what the 2025 prediction said was that there was going to be about I think 34% increase, around 60, it was 60% increase in salaries in the year 2025, and 34% of that increase was going to come from those in the tech industry. And the reason for that was due to there being more opportunities and less talent. That's talents that can actually do the work. Because there might be people out there that claim, oh, I can work with this too, but they really don't have the know-how, the technical know-how to be able to function as Ayodeji and as you as well, Pavel. So we have organizations trying to retain the talent, because they're not getting quality talent in this day and age. It's not an easy thing. Right. Thank you once again, Pavel. Thank you, Ayodeji, for joining us today. I'm very, very excited, and know that we're gonna communicate sometime later, because the journey just started. It's only gonna get better from here.
Sure.
Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you very much, Pavel. Thank you very much, Ayodeji. Yeah, so Isosa, you can continue.
All right then. So thank you, everyone. I believe that everyone is still with me, and we've listened to Pavel, we've listened to Ayodeji. They've shared their experience, how they were able to transition. A couple of months back, just some time ago, they were in their current situation, or rather their previous situation was the same situation that you're currently in. Okay, you're looking to transition, you probably don't have that background, you're looking to transition, you're probably doing something at the moment That is not something you want to continue doing for a specific period of time. You're looking to transition, but you really don't know if 10Alytics is the right path for you. You're looking to transition, but every other person, you really don't know if it's possible for you to actually get the job, because every other thing that you see out there, they might just look like fairy tales, all right, like telltales. So you don't know, is it really true? But now you've listened to Pavel, now you've listened to Ayodeji, you've seen that they were able to make the transition, and this is just two persons from the over 2,850 professionals that we've been able to help transition from the classroom to landing their first job in tech. And these are the people that we are only aware about, because of course, we have participants that get jobs and really don't tell us they've gotten jobs. Okay, so it's amazing. It's amazing. I know that we had a great time, and we're gonna move on to have some fun. I love fun. That's something that if you've been in any one of my sessions, you would understand and you would know that, oh yeah, so Aisha loves fun. So we've had some fun already by listening to Pavel and listening to Ayodeji, right? And now we're going to continue having some even better fun. But I want to know if you're with me, if you're ready to go to have some fun. I want to confirm if we're all on the same wavelength, if we're all on the same frequency, so that when I speak, I know you're listening and I know that you understand me. Just to test it out, okay? So if you know you're with me, I want you to send ice cream to the chat box. I love ice cream. Don't ask me why I keep saying ice cream from session to session. I love ice cream, okay? So if you know you're with me, you're still on the call, I want you to send ice cream to the chat box, and I know that you're ready to go. Okay, fantastic. So we have Nessa. Nessa says ice cream. Nessa's ready to go. We even have Esther. Esther went ahead to search for the emoji and sent that to the chat box. Okay, so great to know that you're with us, Esther. We have Adewale, ice cream, Caleb, ice cream, Jerry, ice cream, Richard, ice cream. So Richard sent, just typed out the old thing, ice cream, to the chat box. We have Scholastica, ice cream. Abiodun also sent in the ice cream emoji as well, which is a great one. And now Emmanuel is with me, ice cream. Wisdom is not really sure if it's with me. So Wisdom is like, Aisha, yeah, I'm with you, but partly. That's the reason why Wisdom went ahead to just type ice. And you know the funny thing. You know the funny thing. Okay, you know what? I'll tell you the funny thing later on. Okay, I'll tell you the funny thing later on. I'll tell you the funny thing later on. So we have Nathan. Nathan says ice cream man. Probably that Nathan is referring to me, or maybe Nathan is referring to the ice cream vendors. I don't know. And then we have Daniel says ice cream. Okay, and Wisdom says ice cream. Caleb says bonjour, Caleb. Ça va? So good to have you with us, Caleb. Okay, so Calaponce says I smiles. I believe that he's referring to me. Okay, that I smile a lot. Yeah, smiling is good. Okay, so we're gonna have a great time. Like I said, and we already know, okay, we're gonna have an amazing time. And what we're gonna take a look at is what is really the right path for you. What should you be looking out for? Because many of us on the call right now, and when I say many of us, I actually mean 100%, because I would like to believe that's actually each and every one of us on the call. Our goal, what we are looking to achieve, is to transition into tech, a broad term, tech. But tech is broad. Tech is just like an umbrella, and under the umbrella, you have certain things. Yeah, in this case, okay. So which part of tech should you be going to? There was a question on the chat box talking about, okay, you know, I have a background in healthcare, or I have this background. What should I look at doing? And whatever career path you decide to choose, there are certain things you want to ensure can be found in those career paths. You want to ensure that you end up transitioning into a career that opens doors and not a career that closes them. That is very, very important, because tech is fantastic, but then there is the right tech. There is the right tech. And that's what we'll get into. So what is the right tech? And what is the criteria that makes something the right tech? I'm going to share my screen and we'll get into that and we'll have fun, of course. Let's not forget that. Having fun is very, very important. So just give me a moment. So Wisdom says, I like the term right tech, right? Thank you very much for your wisdom. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up my screen. Just give me a moment. Yeah, so we're ready to go. So what is right tech? What is right tech? So Wisdom said he loves the term, so I'm going to stick with that term. I'm going to use that particular term so much that we're going to get tired of hearing right tech. Okay, so Wisdom said he loves the term right tech, and yeah, that's what we're going to be taking a look at. Right tech. What is the right tech? There are so many career paths in tech. We've heard about, okay, you have the web development where you learn to build websites. You have the software developer. You have the blockchain developer. You have the UI UX designer. You have the data engineers. You have the data scientists. You have the project managers. You have the robotics. Okay, you have the machine learning engineer, the AI specialist. You have there's so many. And we could spend the whole day just listing them. But which of them should you be going into? That's a conundrum that many of us face. We don't even know what we should do or what path we should take. That is the reason why at 10Alytics, we've done all of that research for you. And we'll tell you what we found and we'll tell you what we found and what influenced our decision. Something about 10Alytics, something that many of us don't know, and something I've been trying to inform many persons nowadays, okay, that's in my sessions, all of those things, is that 10Alytics is Santa Claus. We know Santa Claus, right? If you know Santa Claus, I want you to send, I know, or just send one, okay? Let's keep it simple. If you know Santa Claus, send a 1 to the chat box. Maybe as adults, we no longer visit Santa Claus, okay? Or Father Christmas, as it's known, in some parts of the world, okay? So we know, everyone knows. So Olatunde knows, Rachel knows, Adedayo knows. Fantastic, we all know. And what does Santa Claus do? What is the role of Santa Claus? Why do kids love Santa Claus? Why? Why do kids love Santa? Why? Can someone tell me? So I'm waiting for responses. Okay, I'm waiting for responses. Abiodun says gives gifts. Rachel says free chocolate. Joseph says gifts. Okay, so yes, we are correct. We are very right. But something about Santa is that Santa makes dreams come true. At least that's what the tale says. Okay, that Santa makes dreams come true. So if you've been nice all year and you're in the nice list, you're not in the naughty list, whatever you want, maybe you've wanted to have a PS5 all year, you're given a PS5. So the gifts you're giving are things that you've always wanted. That is what the tale says. At least we all know the truth, but this is what we tell our kids. Okay. So why then did I talk about Santa and all of that? It's just the first quarter of the year. The reason why I talked about that is 10Alytics is Santa. I would explain what I mean. Okay, just calm down. I would explain what I mean. Okay, so 10Alytics is Santa. Why? Because we make your dreams come true. Many of us on the call right now, we want to transition. We want to take that big step. We want to be able to learn a skill and not just learn that skill and go to bed. We are not just interested in learning a skill and remain there. We're not just interested in learning a skill and keep doing whatever it is we were doing previously. We want to learn a skill and move to the next big thing. We make that possible. We make it come true. And since that is what guides us, we're not just here to, okay, you know, go learn data analytics or go learn the skill. No, what we term success, what we call success, is when you've been able to learn the skill and transition into getting a job. That is what we say is success. And we're very, very much successful. And I'm sure you understand what that means. Due to this reason, that is the reason why for every one of our programs, a lot of research was done to determine what is the right program, what is the right career path that for you to get into, a career path that is easy to transition into, easy to learn, has high rewarding salaries, all of those things, so that what you end up learning is a career that opens doors and not one that closes them. And what we did for when it came to this was several things. The first thing is we went ahead to scrape job boards, because job boards carry jobs. Yeah. So if you want to know jobs that are trending or jobs that are in vogue, in quotes, you go to the job board. So we went on job boards from LinkedIn to Indeed to Glassdoor to Jobs, just to list a few. We also took a look at read.co.uk just to factor those in the UK as well, and several others. And of course, as you can see, we took a look at job boards across the US, across the UK, and also Canada. And after taking a look at those jobs, the next thing we did is that we went ahead to analyze. We got all of those jobs, and all of these jobs were now in our database. So we had a bunch of data. And then we went ahead to carry out data analysis, because we're a data company, of course. The data analysis we carried out was based on three criteria, based on three things. The first being ease of learning. Our goal, again, is to make your dreams come true, right? We are Center for you, Center for adults. And something that we understand is that adults don't have all the time in the world, because we have families, we have kids, we have spouses, we have to go to work, we have to bring in the money, because of course we have bills to pay. We understand that. So that does not mean we have all the time in the world. It's not like we're kids now that the only thing we have to worry about is go to school, come back, make friends, and that's it. No. So that means that whatever it is that we want to learn, whatever skill we're trying to get, it needs to be easy to learn. And what does ease of learning talk about? Ease of learning is not saying that it's just going to be ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, your alphabet and your numerals. No, that is not what it's referring to. Although, yeah, it's easy. It's still easy, but that is not what it's referring to. Ease of learning is referring to skills that you can get in, let's say, 6 months, in 8 months, in 1 year. You get the skills, and that you'll be able to apply what you've learned. You'll be able to apply the skills in getting a job. So you don't want to go learning a skill that will take you 3 years, 4 years, 5 years to learn. For example, let's say you want to be a surgeon. For you to be a surgeon, you need to spend at least close to 10 years learning, because you have to go to college first of all, and then when you're done with college, you have to go to medical school, and then when you're done with medical school, you have to begin your residency before you become like a full-fledged surgeon, and then you start making, good money. But we don't have that time, except for some of us that's okay, that's what the path you're trying to take. But the general populace, we don't have the time. We have other things that and that we are working on. So the timeline we should be looking at is there anything I can learn in, let's say, 1 week? Sorry, not 1 week. Is there anything I can learn in, let's say, less than a year? That I get the skills needed, and that once I get a job, I would also be able to earn so well. That is ease of learning. And then talking about ease of transitioning is a career path that you can get jobs. Because like I said earlier, I know I've said this a couple of times during the course of this session since I started speaking, I've said this a couple of times. And what did I say? You want, I think this is a quote. This should be a quote. This should be made popular. I come up with quotes I just keep coming up with quotes. If you were in my past session, or maybe you've been in any of my sessions, you know that I'm looking to get into music. You know I'm looking to get into music, so I'm trying to up my game by coming up with rhymes, coming up with quotes, just spitting bars, those kind of stuff. I've been in tech for a long time, so now I'm looking to get into music. Although you guys are always saying I should remain in tech, so I don't know, but I feel I have a talent for okay. But anyways, we'll talk about that later on. Okay, so something I've mentioned a couple of times is you want to get a job that opens doors. A job that opens doors and not one that closes them. Okay, this is not what you want. You don't want a job that closes. You don't want a job that closes doors. You want a job that opens doors. What do I mean by opening doors and closing doors? Easy. There are jobs out there that you actually have a decline in the number of opportunities available, whereby year in, year out, jobs are lost and jobs are not created. So you're looking to get a skill in a career that is going to be irrelevant. That is not what you want. You want to move into a career that it's opening doors. Year in, year out, you have more jobs created. So ease of transitioning falls under that. It falls under two criteria. I love to call them criteria, or let's say features, whereby you have ease of transition in A and you have ease of transition in B. Ease of transition in A says that you should move into a career path that there are so many opportunities, right? We've already been able to establish that fact. Ease of transition in B says that you should move into a career path that your background does not really matter in terms of you getting a job. If you want to be a lawyer, for instance, you have to have gone to law school. If you want to be a data engineer, you don't have to have studied data engineering in school. If you want to be a surgeon, for instance, you have to have gone to medical school. If you want to be a project manager, you don't have to have studied project management in school. Same for business analysis. You don't have to have have a master's in what's the name of this course? Business management. I believe there's a program called business management. Something business management. Yeah, you don't need to have a master's in that. You don't need to have a master's in data science for you to be able to get a job in data science. There's this testimonial I love. Would I be able to pull that up now? Just give me a moment. Let me see. That if you join the session at the start of the call, if you join the session at the start of the call, yeah, there was a testimonial that played from Stephen, and I'm gonna pull it up. Let's listen to Stephen. There's something Stephen said that I'm very, very much interested in, and that I would like to share with you guys. So just give me 2 minutes. I just want to pull that up so we listen to Stephen. So we listen to Stephen together. Okay, so we understand the situation of things. We are not just here to just tell you, okay, this is what you should do. This is the career you should get into and go register. No, we're here to make things make sense, because again, we are Santa. We make your dreams come true. So just give me a moment and we'll take a look at that together. Okay, just give me a moment. Okay. Okay. Okay, great. So it's up now. So I'll just share my screen and then let's listen to Stephen. There's something Stephen said that I want us to listen to. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen. Just pull this up. So I want us to listen to Stephen.
Hey guys, I'm Steven. I'm here to make this video for your consumption and also for motivation at the same time. So it's just a brief study of myself and how 10Alytics have actually positioned me in a path where I've gone forward to exploring this path, and it's quite a good one. So I felt like there should be some sort of testimonial for some people who are out there who are looking forward to videos like this that can actually encourage them to take that big step. So I moved to the UK during COVID. I had a degree already in computer science and engineering. Wasn't too sure of what I could do within the tech space. But ever since I moved to Scotland after COVID, it was really difficult for me. So I reached out to Accees. We had this communication, we had this conversation, and we spoke. I had to opt in for the data analysis class. I was still like studying for my master's back then in business management, and so during this whole conversation, I was wondering like, what will I do out there? Because the UK, to be honest, if you've got a degree, no one actually cares. They only just...
Did you guys get that? That's exactly what I want us to listen to. Okay, I'm gonna take this back again. And I want everyone to listen, just in case you were not paying attention. So this is Stephen. We helped Stephen transition, get a job in the UK. Okay, and this Stephen sharing his testimonial, how we're able to help him make that switch. And there's something Stephen said that I'm very, very concerned about, that I want everyone on the call to listen to. Okay, so I'm gonna play this again, and let's take a listen.
What will I do out there? Because the UK, to be honest, if you've got a degree, no one actually cares. They only just care about your experience. I'm a testimony. I've experienced this, and I'm telling you this firsthand. They only care about your experience and what you can actually offer, the value you can bring into the team. It's not really just the degree you want. I moved into this, finished the whole study, and I started applying.
Okay, so that's it. So I will come back to this testimonial, but of course, if you want to watch the full thing, just check out our YouTube page. We have so many people that we've been able to help transition, and you can listen to their story and how you can also benefit from that and also make that same switch. So I believe we listened to Stephen. Stephen said, no one cares about your degree. Stephen said, no one cares about your degree. We got that, right? Or we didn't get it. Even though you got that, you heard that statement from Stephen. I want you to send ahead or just send me something. Okay, thank you very much, Esther. Esther got it. Okay, Esther got it. What about the rest of us? So Abiodun did as well. Refine wants me to share the link. Okay, I'll do that soon. Okay, so Chuck's got it. Fantastic. No one cares about your degree. I, for one, I have experience when it comes from in different aspects, right, of tech, from data analytics to business analysis to power platform engineering to predictive AI engineering as well. And I've been able to work in different organizations across multiple countries. Just last year, I worked with a company in Singapore on a certain project, just helping them set up just helping them transform their critical business processes, just making things better for them, all of that, okay? And during that, when I was reached out to, okay, so when they reached out to me that we have this, please would you like to up on this and just help us work on this? It was for, I think the project lasted for about a month or two, thereabout, okay? So when I did that, when they reached out, they never asked about what did you study, please. No one asked, okay, sorry, I would like to know what do you have in your first degree? Like what did you study in first degree or in your master's? No one asked. All they cared about was, we've seen your track record, we know that you'll be able to deliver this, or deliver on this for us, and we'd like you to jump on this project with us. That was all they were interested in. And this is the same situation across other organizations I've worked with. No one cares about what you studied. No one absolutely cares. I could, if you get nothing from this session, just get that. The reason why I'm focusing on this is because many of us, we feel, oh, yeah, I didn't study this, or this is what I've been doing. You know, I don't have the experience in this, so I would not be able to make that switch. That is false. That is absolutely false. And this is, you heard Stephen saying this. So if maybe I just went ahead and said this, maybe you might feel, oh, yeah, it's Aisha just speaking. Aisha saying that, so I understand. But this is Stephen saying this as well. So that's ease of transitioning. Talking about the B side of things, that you don't need to have any sort of background. All you need, as long as you are willing to learn, you're willing to do the work, would help you make that switch, would help you get that experience you need in terms of working on projects, because that is what will get you the job, and not if you did a master's or you did 2 degrees or you have a PhD or whatever. Yeah, maybe there are some career paths that would require that, but not this tech career path. If we are together, send ice cream to the chat box. If you're still with me, send ice cream to the chat box. You know how we roll. Ice cream to the chat box. Okay. So if you're still with me, send ice cream to the chat box. Thank you very much, Abiodun. Thank you, Lukman. Thank you, Esther. Thank you, thank you, Nessa. I need more responses. I don't think I've gotten any response from Aishat. Okay, I'd like to hear from Adewale, from Blessing, from Bright, from Chooks, from Daniel. Ice cream, great. So Veronique says ice cream as well. Good to know that we are together. So that is the situation of things. So the second feature, the second criteria was ease of transitioning. That's something we're looking at as well, because many of us looking to transition, we don't have that background, like, oh, maybe you studied this in school. So we need to take a look at career path that will not be necessary. And then moving on to the third, that's higher stroke rewarding salary. We understand that already. We understand that high stroke rewarding salary. I don't think we need to spend all day on that. What is high stroke rewarding salary saying? That means you want to make the Benjamins. You want to be able to get your wants, not just your needs. You want to be able to live life. You want to earn well, where you're not just earning to pay bills, but that you are earning, your bills will be paid, but you're also earning to get some luxuries. So we also factor that in, because that's one of the reasons many of us are looking to transition. We want to get into a career path that we know we're going to make better money. We want to move into a career path that we know will be more flexible for us to work remotely. We want to move into a career path that we know will give us more time with our family. We want to move into a career path that we know that we'll be comfortable at, living life. So that was the third thing we took a look at. And from those 3 features, the programs we came across, the programs that we concluded on, were 8 different career paths. 8. From business analysis to agile project management to data analytics, data science, data engineering, cybersecurity, financial analytics, and HR analytics. These 8 programs have each and every one of these features. There are some career paths out there, some tech careers that are good, but they did not fall under these 3 criteria. Hence the reason why they are not a part of this. A good example, software engineering. Everyone knows software engineers, those guys that build the applications, that build the websites, that build all of those amazing things. It's not a part of this list. Why? It's easy. Software engineers, it's easy for you to transition into software engineering. You don't need to have a degree. Even I think a couple of months ago, Elon Musk, he sent a tweet saying if you had a break, if you had a break, like that, how did they put it? It was basically saying if you had an amazing idea, that you can send the idea to him and he doesn't care about what you studied about or where you worked. I don't know if we stored that tweet. Okay, so as a software engineer, yeah, your background doesn't matter. As long as you have the skills, you can easily get a job. That salary, all right as well. So how rewarding salary on point as well. And then ease of learning. Now that is where we have an issue. For you to be a good software engineer, you need to spend at least a minimum of 2 years learning. And I'm talking about you understanding all of the different languages. From you understanding, of course, you have to begin with your HTML, which is a script, a type script. Then you move to your CSS. Then you move to your JavaScript as you start working with your languages. Your React, which is a JavaScript library. Then, especially if you want to be a full stack software engineer, that's the front end and the back end, then you need to start learning about database languages like your SQL, your Django for your non-relational databases. You also need to learn Python, all of those languages. So it will take you a minimum of at least 2 years to learn. And that's 2 years of constant learning, of working on things, trying to get the skills. And many of us, we don't even have that time, because for many of us, it would just be 3 to 4 years because we don't have all day to spend learning. So that's one of the reasons why it's not here. And every other career path. So those 8 career paths fall under these 3 categories. It's easy to learn, it's easy to transition into, and of course, high and rewarding salary. Moving on. I talked about the fact that you want to get into a career that opens doors and not one that closes them. Taking a look at the World Economic Forum, they released a report called the Future of Job Report. This report is released every 2 years, and the most recent report showed the jobs that will be destroyed and those that will be created. And what did we find out? So the pink lines, or the pinkish or purplish, whatever color this is, okay, this representing jobs destroyed. This is representing, okay, stable jobs, like jobs are not being created, but they're just stable. And this is representing the jobs created. And what we see here is that in the next 5 years, that's by 2030, this is not just me saying this. This is not 10Alytics saying this now. This is the World Economic Forum. That in the next 5 years, 170 million jobs will be created. 170 million jobs will be created. And 92 million jobs will disappear. So while you have 170 that will be created, you're going to have 92 million jobs that would also disappear. So you want to ensure you are falling in the category of creation and not in the category of what? What's a good antonym for create? So you want created, that'll be destroyed. But I don't want to go with destroyed. I want some other, I want a synonym for destroyed. Can you guys give me some synonyms for destroyed? Synonyms for destroyed? Extinct. Thank you very much, right? So I think we can go with that. So we'll have 170 million jobs that will be created, while we have 92 million jobs that will go extinct or that will be eliminated. Thank you, Mercy. So that is the situation. So you want to ensure you are in the right path and not a path that you would regret. A path where you spend time, you spend money, you spend resources, and at the end of the day, the skills you've gotten are next to irrelevant. Looking at the career paths that are in high demand, the career path that contains jobs that will be that you should be looking to get into, career path that contains jobs that are in high demand, jobs that, jobs that are in high demand, jobs that you should get into, jobs that more opportunities will be created. We take a look at the same World Economic Forum. Okay, this is a report that is available to everyone. So you can just go online and you search for the World Economic Forum Future of Job Report, and it will pop up. The report is about 300 pages, 297 to be exact. So so if it's a good read, if you have all the time in the world, you can not all the time in the world really, but if you have the time, you can go and read the entire thing. But if not, you can just focus on page 30 or page 27 thereabouts. That's where you find this report. So what you see here is that the jobs by the right, these are the jobs that will increase in demand. From this, you can see that the blue section, this blue section is representing jobs that will be created, while the pink or purplish or whatever this is, it's referring to jobs that will be destroyed. So taking a look at jobs that will be created, we can see the machine learning specialist. The machine learning specialist, that is actually a data scientist role. So you have the machine learning specialist, a data science role. So you have jobs that will be created. You also have the business intelligence analyst, which is a data analyst role, because the business intelligence analyst works with tools such as your Power BI, and Power BI actually means the Power Business Intelligence. So also you see your data analysts and scientists just listed out explicitly. They're like saying, oh, if you did not know machine learning is a data scientist role, I'm just going to come down here and list it out for you. And we can see the amount of jobs that will be created. Then we move to the cybersecurity, where we see information security analyst. This is a cybersecurity role. We can see the amount of jobs that will be created. For data engineer as well, where you have your big data specialists, your data engineers, your database architects, you can see the results as well. Then you have your business analyst, which is your process automation specialist. Still very high in demand, still multiple jobs being created, so many jobs being created. And then you have your just a moment, okay, and then you have your agile project managers. This is your project management role. Note, the project management role, yeah, is actually referring to your agile project management and not just your mundane project management. That's talking about the waterfall, because many organizations are moving from waterfall into using the new methodology, the new framework, which is the agile. And don't worry, we get to see what agile actually means. That's the agile project management, what it actually means. And then you see database and network professionals. These are actually your data engineers, and of course your cybersecurity analysts as well. And then you see you have your financial analyst. So all of these roles are in high demand. All of these roles, learning all of these roles, you know for a fact that you are getting into the right career path. You are moving into a career path that opens doors and not one that closes them. And the fantastic thing about these roles, the fantastic thing about this 8 career path is that you learning data analytics or you learning HR analytics does not just mean you're only going to be able to work as an HR analyst, for instance. As an HR analyst, you can work as a data analyst, because you, as a HR analyst, is actually a data analyst, but a data analyst that focuses on HR data. We'll break all of that down very soon, okay? Just stay with me. As an HR analyst, you can work as that's good to know, refined. Okay, yes. So it's actually called the Power Business Intelligence. Yes, Power BI. Okay. So this is as an HR analyst, you see that you can work as a HR analyst, you can work as a people analyst, you can work as a workforce planning analyst, you can work as a talent analytics specialist, so many roles. So you learning HR analytics would not just make you stay only in the HR. It doesn't just mean that the only jobs you can apply to are jobs titled HR analytics, no, or HR analyst, no. It's a skill that can be used in multiple roles, which even makes things even better, because that means that once you learn the skill, if maybe you are not only able to apply for just one role, you can apply to multiple roles. So you have more opportunities, you have more jobs that are open to you. And this is the same situation for every other programs. From data analytics to data science to data engineering to cybersecurity to business analysis. This is absolutely amazing. Now tell me, what other career path do you know that you can get into and that you'll be able to apply to other jobs? And not just jobs in that specific niche. It'll probably take a while for you to give me an answer. What you must do to get a job. There's a strategy that you must deploy. I love to refer to it as a 6-step approach. Okay, I love to refer to it as the 6-step approach. And we get into that. We take a look at that. So Caleb is asking, I want to ask, I noticed that data analysts have more job opportunities than business analysts, than business analysis. Can I work? I want to ask, I noticed that. Okay, you know what? Maybe I'll take questions at the end of the session, because I don't think that question was probably properly phrased. Okay, so I'll take questions at the end of the session so we don't waste time. Please, I want to ask, I noticed data analysts have more job opportunities. As a business analyst, can I work as a, oh, okay, I think I understand what Caleb is saying. So Caleb is asking, can I work as a data analyst by going, by taking the business analysis program? So we take a look at that, okay? So just follow me. I'm going to answer that, okay? So the 6-step approach, for you to get a job, there are certain things you must do. For you to get a job, there's a path you must follow. It's not just about learning the skills. We probably know a friend. Maybe you have a friend called Kunle, or you have a friend called Jasmine. Is there any Jasmine on the call? Okay, I hope not. Okay, so let's say you have a friend called Jasmine, or you have a friend called Jacinta, or you have a friend, and your friend learned data analytics or learned how to work with, let's say, learned data engineering, learned cybersecurity, learned how to work with these tools such as your Wireshark, your Splunk, your Azure, your QRadar, your Cisco Packet Tracer. That's talking about cybersecurity now. Or the learned how to work with GCP, your Azure, your AWS, how to code Python, how to work with different SQL databases, relational databases or non-relational databases, talking about your data engineering now. Until now, they have no job in tech. And they're wondering, okay, if John could not do this, why will I be able to do this? If John that had learned the skills for 5 years and has not gotten a job till now in tech, why would I be any different? That's because John probably is not taking the approach that he should take in getting the job. For you to get a job, the first thing you need to do is identify your career path. Okay? The very first thing you need to do is identify your career path. So you need to identify your career path, and that's the reason why we are in a session like this. So we talk about the different careers and look at which of them is right for you. Which of them should you go into? Take a look at the skills that you have. So Victoria, a customer service rep, that's her experience, and she's looking to become a data engineer. So what does Victoria do? Victoria, first of all, needs to learn the skills, because you can't get a job if you don't have the skills. That's just the truth. So first of all, you need to know how to even work with Python. You need to have the skills. That's like a given. We should not even be saying that. And how does Victoria learn? Victoria learns using an hybrid approach, talking about the LMS, that's the self-paced learning materials, the learning management system, okay, and also learn using the live instructor-led class. So Victoria learns in class where you have where she's in class, just like the way we are in this session now. She's asking questions, she's working on case studies with the facilitator, she's interacting with the facilitator, she's getting that knowledge, getting that experience. She learns that way. And then also during the week, she learns using the self-paced learning management system, where there are a bunch of videos that will introduce her to concept she will be learning in the next class. So it doesn't matter if Victoria is the kind of person that would prefer to speak with someone to learn well. That is no problem, because that is catered for in the live class. Or it may be Victoria is the kind of person that prefer learning on her own pace. She wants to go through a video over and over again. She wants to be able to rewind, forward, those kind of things. There's no problem, because she also has the self-paced learning management system. So she learns using this two approach. And then what's the next thing? Gaining experience. I'm very, very factual. I love saying the truth. Okay? The situation, for you to get a job, you need the experience. For you to get a job, you need experience. When you go on job boards, you are going to see that you need some sort of experience. Either you need a year experience, you need 2 years experience, you need 3 years experience, you need 100 years experience, 200 years experience, and then you're wondering, how am I supposed to have 200 years experience when I'm only 38 years old? Okay, so you're thinking about that, where the experience required is older than you. How is that gonna work? And so how then you get into the space? Because some people will tell you, oh, that's why you go apply for entry-level roles, when the truth is there's really no such thing as an entry-level role. Or at least entry-level roles require you have some sort of experience, maybe a year experience, 2 years experience. So how then do you get a job? Because if you need experience to get a job, I need a job to get experience. How then do you get experience to get a job? It's like the cycle of doom. But that is the great thing, because we know what works. The fantastic thing is that there are actually multiple ways that you can get experience. You can get experience by working on that job. So you're working on the job, you're getting experience, no problem, fantastic. And you can also get experience by working on industry relevant projects. We listened to Ayodeji earlier. Ayodeji mentioned that during his interview, he was asked, okay, so what project have you worked on? And he was able to showcase the project he worked on because they need experience. Same thing with Pavel. Pavel mentioned that during his interview, he was asked, what have you worked on? What's your experience like? And you remember that we've worked on a data set in class that was was a healthcare data set, and he was able to use that as his experience. Oh yes, there was this time where I worked on this particular project where I helped in determining the kind of the issues with the patients or the kind of patients we get, those healthcare related terms, telling the recruiters that yes, I have the experience and I am the best person for you. Because without experience, you are going nowhere. Sorry about that, but it's just the truth. We are here to get the truth, to know how we can transition, how we can get the job. And that is what I'm doing, telling you the truth. So to get that experience, that project-based experience, and the way you get that, you work on projects and you build your portfolio. It is very, very important that you have your portfolio when you're looking to get a role in tech. If you're looking to transition, you're looking to get a role in tech, you need a portfolio. As long as it's a tech role, you need a portfolio. We'll show you how you can get your portfolio so that your portfolio would also be on your CV. You just have a link that a recruiter can click on. It takes them to a website that shows them all of your very best work for them to believe that you actually can do what you say you can do. Then after that, you have your employability skills. You need to understand how to you need to have a great CV, because your CV is the forefront of everything. It's the gateway to you getting the job. So it would help you with your CV review, and revamped. You need your CV reviewed and revamped. Your LinkedIn would also be optimized, okay? And then you also learn how to navigate the job market. So Vivian learned how to navigate the job market. So let's say she just migrated, she just moved to a new country. She needs to understand what the situation is. Is there a way my CV needs to look? What job board should I be looking out for when I'm looking to apply to jobs? What should I do? So she gets to speak with recruiters and get to learn, okay, this is what she needs to do. And of course, she gets the job. And when she gets the job, she also gets access to a reference letter for when the recruiter needs a reference letter, and also on the job support. Then we also have networking. With networking, Victoria will be open to opportunities she did not even know existed. Because we've had situations where organizations reach out to us, and also participants, alumni that have gotten jobs, that their current companies are looking to recruit more individuals. They reach out to us and ask us for recommendations. And then we throw this out to the participants for them to apply and for them to get the opportunity. So they apply, we get some CVs, we take a look at that, we interview, and then we send our recommendations over to the companies. Without networking, there's no way you can get that, because this is an opportunity. This is like a referral, and in recruitment, referrals usually take precedence. Then you have mentorship, where Victoria is mentored with the very best in the industry. Victoria is mentored from the very best in the industry, where she's told what she needs to do, how she can succeed, because these are people that have been able to succeed where she's looking to succeed. So she's guided in all of that to ensure that her route to success is a whole lot faster. And then with all of this, Victoria lands that job. So it's not just about learning the skills alone. It's not only about this. This is not the only thing that gets you the job. So that is a 6-step approach. But moving on. Are there people that have gone through this approach and that got a job? Of course, that's true. We are having in a session that is dedicated to you listening from those people, and we were able to bring in just 2 because we don't have all the time in the world. So we listen to Pavel, we listen to Ayodeji as well. But there are other people that we've been able to help transition. We listened to Steven some minutes ago when I showed you the testimonial, but it's not just Steven as well. We've helped over 2,850 individuals transition from the classroom to landing their first job in tech. And you can listen to those people. All you need to do, ensure you fill the attendance form. Very, very important, okay? Ensure you fill the attendance form. And then as soon as you do that, just give me a moment, please. Please just give me a moment. Just give me 2 minutes, please. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry about that, everyone. Okay, so apologies about that. Just had to fix something real quick. Okay, so that being said, moving on. So we've been able to help so many people transition. It's not just Pavel. It's not just Ayodeji alone. It's not just Stephen alone. So many people from all of the different programs to how we're able to help Adetayo land a job. Just 60 to 70% to how we're able to help Adetayo land the job, just 60 to 70% into the program. So he was not even done with the entire program when he got a job. And if you listen to him, it will tell you how he struggled completing the program because, of course, he was working now and, he had to focus on work, those kind of stuff. And then how we're able to help how we're able to help Victor, that's Victor Bolajoko, transition to getting a job in financial analytics. So how we're able to help Bumi as well get a job in financial analytics as well. Okay, so how we're able to help Victor Yesina get a job as an HR analyst. Okay, so many people that have been able to help. To Ikmat, we helped Ikmat get a job in the UK, a full-time, a full visa sponsorship role, working as a data analyst with the NHS. And I love Ikmat's story so much. I love listening to Ikmat's story because Ikmat's story is very, it's similar to the situation of many of us. So many of us, we are currently where Ikmat was previously, and we are looking to make that switch. Ikmat's story is very unique. Ikmat was a stay-at-home mom, okay, for about 2 years. So she stayed back home to take care of her kids, and then she was looking to get back into the workspace, into the job market. But she needed to know, okay, what skills what career should I be looking to get into? What skills should I get? Okay, and then she reached out to us. We gathered down the path that she should take, and she was able to get 2 different offers. You know what? Let's listen to Ikmat. Okay, I don't like just I know I've been speaking for a while, but let's listen to Ikmat. So I'm gonna pull up Ikmat's testimonial. Okay, I'm gonna pull up Ikmat's testimonial. Just give me a moment. Okay, so this is Ikmat.
FlexJobs is the #1 job site to find remote work from home and flexible schedule.
Hi everyone, my name is Ikmat, and
so I believe you guys can get this. If you know you can get the testimonial, just send a 1 to the chat box, please. So if you can get a testimonial, just send a 1 to the chat box. Okay, fantastic, great. So let's listen to Ikmat, how we're able to help Ikmat make that switch.
Hi everyone, my name is Ikmat, and I was with the March cohort in 10Alytics, and joining 10Alytics has been the best decision so far. You know, for me, someone coming from a background of full housewife, because I had to stay back home to look after my child for 4 years, and then wanting to break into something new, wanting to go back into the workforce, you know, wanting to place myself in the society for better job opportunities. So it was a lot, and then I'm glad that 10Alytics came along, and then they presented me with so many opportunities right in front of me, better opportunities, and then I'm glad I took it. And then also the advice of do not sell yourself short, that Efe is always saying, it is very valid, because place yourself right, you know, don't sell yourself short. It's a very valid advice. You know, in 10Alytics, they will hold your hands like a child, you know, through the modules. You have the opportunity to go back and study. You have the opportunity to go back and practice. You have the opportunity to ask questions. You know, we have people you can always go back to, even outside of class hours. It's the most amazing experience so far, really. And then another thing is the interview prep, guys. That is another very important thing. I did my interview prep with Mr. Mohammed, and it is the best decision ever, because it was like he saw into the future. He knew what was going to be asked, and I'm glad that I wrote down all the things he mentioned. I went back to practice, and then when it was time for the interview, it was like everything he was mentioning, everything he mentioned, it was just, they kept on. And then when I was answering those questions, I was so confident, you know, because I already practiced. I did an Excel test, I did a maths test, and then they were really impressed. And another thing is, guys, it may not come as fast as you expect. Definitely you are going to get some no's, and then you may begin to think you're not good enough. You are good enough, yes. The no's will come, but always take it as a basis for learning and development, because after every interview where I got a no, I always make sure I get a personal feedback. So I work on those feedbacks for my next interviews. And yes, it worked. It really worked for me, because I got my first job 3 months into the program, my first job. But I couldn't take up the job because I was a student and I was only eligible to work 20 hours. So I couldn't take up the job. 3 months later, I got 2 jobs with full visa sponsorship. And guys, all the other no's before the 2 jobs prepared me for the yeses I got. So yes, the no's will come, but do not give up, because you always have 10Alytics to go back to. They are the best and the best thing that's ever happened to me. And then yes, and they are the most affordable, the most affordable one I've come across so far, and that's a very good advantage. So yes, 10Alytics for the win.
And that's Ikmat's story. Okay, so it's whenever I listen to that testimonial over and over again, it just makes me so happy. I love what we are doing here at 10Alytics. I mentioned earlier that we are Santa. We make your dreams come true, and that is the situation. Many of us on the call right now, we might have similar. Excuse me. Many of us on the call right now, we might have similar situation to Ikmat. Similar or maybe exactly the same. We can help you make that switch as well. For Ikmat, yeah, I'm sorry about that, everyone. For Ikmat was did not have that background. Okay, that a master's in this, a master's in that, in data science. For a while, she did not even have any work experience, but we were able to work with her upon the project, gave her that project-based experience for her to learn 2 roles. So she eventually went with the one with the data as a data analyst with the NHS, which came with a full-time sponsorship, okay, with a full visa sponsorship. So that's the one she eventually went for. But she got 2 roles. 3 actually. The first she got was 3 months after the program, but she was not able to go take that role up because then she was still in school. And then after she graduated, she got 2 other opportunities. And that is just Ikmat. We have Ramat that we were able to help transition. We have Tony that we were able to help transition. We have Abisola. We have Oluwafikayo. We have so many people, so many testimonials. And I'm going to go into all of that very soon. You see more testimonials. So let's just put a pause. Right now, you can see these are super ladies. You might be asking, where are the guys? Okay. These are super ladies. So it's March. We are close to, International Women's Day. So you need to know that it is possible. There's a career for the women. There's a career for the men as well. As long as you want to make that switch, we can help you out. So just stay with me. We'll take a look at some other testimonials as we move on. Okay. But then we need to understand what skills will land you the job. Because I've talked about so many careers so far. I've talked about data analytics, data science, data engineering. But what do you need to know that would help you in landing that job? Easy. The first thing we take a look at is the business analyst. And what does the business analyst do? Who is a business analyst? A business analyst is a professional that helps organizations take them. A business analyst is a professional that takes organizations from point A to point B. What do I mean by that? A business analyst is a professional that analyzes business processes and stakeholders and make them more efficient and optimized. A business analyst is the middleman between the technical stakeholders and the non-technical stakeholders. A business analyst is a professional that would say, okay, so at the moment, this is our current process. Our current process, it takes 5 days to get that item delivered to a customer. So if a customer goes ahead to make an order from us, it will take us 5 days to get that item from point A to point B. How can we reduce that to, let's say, 5 hours to ensure that we have more customers coming to us? And then we'll go ahead to map out the current process, as the as-is process, and the to-be process. That's talking about the current state and the future state. Working with tools such as your Lucid Chart, your Joe.io will make sense of those two things. So, and then with the with the future state, which is the state that we'll be using, where we'll be delivering items in just 5 hours. We'll look to implement that in the organization to ensure that that is now the case. What am I saying? A business analyst is like that engine. In addition to optimizing business processes, in saying that, okay, instead of having customers call us, why don't you build a website that customers can go order from? At least that would reduce the time. Instead of having a staff that would have to go manually bring the item from the warehouse, why don't we have a system whereby as soon as the customer orders, there's this machine that brings the item, just making things more optimized. In addition to all of that, a business analyst also, like I said, is that middleman between the technical stakeholders and the non-technical stakeholders. The non-technical stakeholders in this case being your CEO, okay? The non-technical stakeholders, I would say the NC, all right? Your CEO, you have your CEO, your COO, your CTO, all of those guys in charge of making what? Decisions. And then for the technical stakeholders, you have your developers, you have your analysts, you have your designers, and so on and so forth. So the business analyst is now that middleman. The business analyst now stays in the middle. So at the middle, we have the BA. So at the middle, we have the business analyst. Let's say you are building a new, the company wants to build a new application. The CEO or the CTO or the COO decide, okay, we need a new application that customers can go to and make orders from. Okay, so we need an application that customers can make orders from. And then they bring in a developer or a designer that's going to design the application or build the application. The developer needs to know all of the details of that application. Needs to know, is the application going to be yellow? Is the application going to sing and dance? When a customer makes a purchase from their application, should the application sing for the customer? What payment gateway should we use in the application? All of those things are known by the non-technical stakeholders. These guys know all of these things. So for the technical stakeholder, that's the developer, to get all of this information to ensure that they build the right application, you need a business analyst. The business analyst will gather requirements from the non-technical stakeholders using what we call your requirement fundamentals, talking about your elicitation, the stakeholder analysis. We analyze the stakeholders, get all of the requirements from this. That's your requirement, using what we call the requirement gathering processes. We gather all of the requirements, and those requirements would now be introduced or written as your acceptance criteria, which the technical stakeholder, in this case, the developer, would use as a guiding system in building the right application. So the business analyst ensures that whatever application is being built is the application that would actually solve the goals, that would actually solve the needs of the organization. That is a snippet of what a business analyst does. The skills needed to be a business analyst. The first thing, you have your Excel, your Power BI, and your SQL, because nowadays what we have right now is that many recruiters, many organizations, they're looking to hire business analysts that have a flavor of data analytics. They're looking to hire business analysts that can analyze some data. You don't have to have all of the business analyst, all of the data analyst knowledge, but I would want you to be able to analyze some data. That's role, that situation now gave birth to a role called the business data analyst. The business data analyst. So that's the reason why you begin to Excel, Power BI, and SQL. Just that's to get that flavor, like I said. So you might not go in depth as what the data analyst would do, but you'll be able to just understand the tools to just analyze, some data to give you access to these kind of roles. And then process mapping. The business analyst has to know how to map out processes. Okay, what are we doing at the moment? The Accees process. How can we optimize that? How can we make it better for the TOB process? And when you're mapping out processes, tools that are used, tools like your Lucid Charts, your Draw.io, your Microsoft Visio, then your project initiation planning. How do you plan the project? What are the things you do when an organization is looking to launch a project? You get to learn the racing matrix. That's who is responsible, who is accountable, who should be consulted, and who should be informed. You get to learn how to develop your BROD, which is your business requirement document. You get to learn how to develop your PROD as well when it comes to a product. Then you have your Agile and Scrum for projects. Your Agile and Scrum for projects, this is where you get to learn how to about the Agile framework, because as a business analyst, you will be working in Agile teams or in Agile teams. Okay, so if I say Agile or Agile, please know I'm talking about the same thing. So you get to learn how you can work in what? Agile teams. And so that's why you learn how to work with your Jira, your Trello for your project management. So when you are in a team that's working with Jira, you are not stranded, you know what to do. Then your SDLC, we're talking about your software development lifecycle. In your software development lifecycle, you get to learn how to develop the SRS, which is your what? The software requirement specification, which is a document that contains all of the details that will be in that software or in that application. Then you have your requirement fundamentals. You get to learn how to carry out your stakeholder analysis, how to call for your stakeholder meetings, your elicitation, your stakeholder analysis and engagement, and of course, your ChatGPT for business analysis. Because you also want to know how you can leverage AI to increase your productivity as a business analyst. Because we're in the world of AI, and AI is not coming to replace business analyst roles, no, but rather business analysts that can use AI would replace those that cannot. So how will you be learning in a business analysis program? It's easy. Remember, I talked about the dual learning approach. So you have the live classes and you have the learning management system. For the live classes are on Saturdays. So on Saturdays you have your live classes, and it doesn't matter your location. If you are in Europe, if you are in North America, if you're in Africa, there is a class for you. So for those in EU, in the UK, in Africa, the timing for your class is 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. UTC. That's 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. And then for those in North America, let's say you're in Canada, you're in the US, you have a class for you, which is from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, or 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. And there are two plans. So there are two options you can go with. You can either decide to go with a 8-month plan, or you can go with a 12-month plan. With a 6-month plan, you get to learn for 6 months, and you have a 2 months of internship. You learn for what? You learn for 6 months, and you get to intern for 2 months. And for the 12-month plan, you learn for 6 months and you intern for another 6 months. For the 8-month plan, if you're looking for the 8 months plan, or rather for the 12-month plan, if you're looking to get more experience, you want to work on more projects, you want to spend more time in your internship to gain all of the experience you would need under your belt for when you are going for an interview, then you can go with the 12-month plan. But if you're looking to get on things quickly, you already have some knowledge, or you already have some skills, and you just want to learn, and then go the 2 months internship and go go get a job, or you're just looking to upskill, then the 8-month plan is for you. Moving on. What about for the Agile project manager? The Agile project manager, or the Scrum Master, or rather, scratch that. The Agile project management, or the Agile project manager stroke Scrum Master's program is fantastic as well. The Agile project manager is a facilitator, a coach. And the Agile project manager is a leader of an Agile team. There's a reason why the project manager is called the servant leader, because you are leading a team, but you are serving the team. So unlike your team leads, where you have the team leads or the managers, you have the bosses. So these are the people in charge. So they're in charge of the people. If they tell you jump, you jump. If they tell you fly, you fly. I'm kidding anyways, okay? But yeah, so you have the team leads that are in charge of the people, but then the Agile project managers are not really in charge of the people, okay? So they are team leads, but they are team leads of the project. So they are leading the project, but not necessarily the individuals. So that is why your task is more of ensuring that people are working well together, that if there's an issue, it is resolved. And that's the Agile project managers, that's the field. That's the reason why it's called the servant leader. So the Agile project manager is a facilitator, a coach for a team that works on the project using the Agile method. What is Agile or Agile? Okay, yeah, so it's called Agile. Apologies for that. I keep saying Agile, okay? But like I said, it's the same. When I say Agile or Agile, then I'm talking about this, okay? So what is Agile? Agile is a method. Agile is a method of project management that many organizations are now using. Agile is a method of project management that talks about flexibility, that talks about adaptability. Agile says that you can do multiple things at the same time. Agile says that you can do things in bits, in chunks, so that instead of you having to build an entire application, complete it from point A to point Z before you go ahead to launch, that you can complete A and B and launch. You get feedback from the users, and then you use that feedback in building C and D. Due to Agile, that's the reason why you have applications with so many versions. You have an application with version 1, version 2, version 2.8, version 2.3. That is Agile. The application is not yet complete. For example, WhatsApp. WhatsApp is not a complete application. Even as we are speaking right now, there's a team working on adding more features on WhatsApp. That's why from time to time, you see that there's a new feature, there's this new feature, the design has changed, things like that. It's all thanks to Agile. And that is the reason many organizations are now tilting towards that. So for you to be an Agile project manager, things you need to learn, of course, you have to begin with your introduction to project management methodologies and structure. The fantastic thing about Agile project management is that you are not just learning one framework, which is the Scrum alone. So when you learn just Scrum, you are just a Scrum Master. And if you work in an organization that does not utilize Scrum, it's not really looking good for you. Because let's say you're working in a company that was using Scrum before, and now they decide Scrum is not working for us. We want to move to Kanban, or want to move to Lean. Then you are left hanging because Scrum is the only framework you know. So when you learn Agile, you get to learn all of the different frameworks from your Scrum to your Kanban to your Lean, and also a little bit of waterfall as well, for you to be able to function in organizations that use the Agile approach. which is a combination of waterfall and agile. So you learn your project management skills and communication, your foundations of agile and Scrum. You learn about the Scrum artifacts. You learn about the Scrum framework, your Kanban boards for workflow management. Okay, so you also learn how to work with your Jira, your Trello, your Confluence. These are the major tools that you'll be working with. You get to learn your different Scrum events from your Scrum, from your sprint planning to your sprint retrospective to your sprint review. You get to learn what each and all of these things mean and why they are important and how you can go about implementing them in your day-to-day life as an agile project manager. The timing of the classes, same as for the business analysis, and of course the timeline, you have the 8 months and the 12 months as stated earlier. Then for the data engineer, if you're looking to get into data engineering, what is a data engineer? Who is a data engineer? What does a data engineer do? A data engineer is responsible for getting the data from the source and presenting it to those that need it. The data analyst, the data scientist, the HR analyst, all of those guys that work with data, there's something that is very important that they need. That is data. The data needs to come from somewhere. That is where the data engineer comes in. A data engineer is like a plumber that connects different pipes to the data source and gets all of the data from the source, prepares it, cleans it, and presents it to you as a data analyst by pushing it to a database where you can easily access. To get into data engineering, things you need to learn your SQL, because SQL is like the bread and butter of every data engineer. You need to understand how to interact with relational databases. Then you have your Python programming, your Linux, you get to learn how you can build custom ETL pipelines, your Apache Spark for your big data processing. That's where you're talking about millions and millions of rows of data. So your Apache Airflow for your data orchestration, whereby you're able to automate a pipeline so that if you want that every day, I want the pipeline to run to get new data, you're able to work on all of that. So every day the data is refreshed, new data is gotten from the different sources, maybe a point of sales, an ATM, a website, an application, wherever the data is located. Then you get to learn cloud engineering as well. How you can work with your GCP, which is your Go Cloud platform, and also your Azure. Version control for GitHub and your ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot. Data engineering, it's a fantastic career path and it's one of the highest, it's one of the career paths in high demand. Okay, of course, you can also see the salary, that's the median salary, okay, across the UK, the Canada, the US. With the UK, you earning up to £65,000. Now, this is the median average. That means that you have people that would definitely earn above this, and you have those that would earn slightly below this as well. So for Canada, you have 100,000 Canadian dollars. In the US, 134,000 US dollars. Then for the data analyst, for you to be a data analyst, there are certain things you need to know. The first thing, you need to know how to solve a problem. Because as a data analyst, what you do is that you are responsible for analyzing and interpreting data to generate insights and support data-driven decision making. So you help an organization make decisions by working with the data, looking at what the data says, and presenting your findings to the stakeholders in a report or a dashboard format. So you get to learn problem solving, how you can solve problems, different problem solving approaches, from your CRIP-DM framework to the 5 whys to the Pareto principle, all of that. And then you move on to Excel. You spend a lot of time on Excel, understanding all of the different Excel concepts, because Excel is not just a spreadsheet tool, it is an analytical tool. So you get to learn how to work with Excel. Then you move on to your SQL, how you can interact with databases, because again, many organizations use databases, especially organizations that have some sort of websites. You need to understand SQL to be able to interact with that database to get the information you need for you to go ahead to query. Then you have your Power BI, your Tableau. These are both business intelligence tools, and you get to learn both of them so that you are well equipped, notwithstanding the organization that you're looking to work in And then you'll get to learn how to tell stories with your data, because as a data analyst, you will be giving lots and lots of presentations about your findings. So you need to know how to tell stories with your data, how to pass across the information that you've gotten from your data to stakeholders. And then, of course, your ChatGPT for analytics, your Microsoft Fabrics for analytics as well. The median salary in the UK, it's £40,000. In Canada, 64,000 Canadian dollars. And in the US, it's 72,000 US dollars. For a data scientist takes it a notch where the data analyst stops. The data scientist takes it a step further. The data analyst is more focused on two main types of analytics. That's your descriptive and your diagnostic analytics, which talks about what happened and where, which talks about what happened and why it happened. The data scientist takes it a notch and takes a look at your predictive analytics, being able to predict the future. They say data science is the sexiest job of the century, and that's actually right, because you gain the ability to see the future. You become like a superhero. Okay, so you get to learn how to build your predictive models, how to build your machine learning models. That's why the first thing you need to do, you understand statistics. And this is not just statistics. This is not just statistics. This is not just statistics that you learn in school. Not just it's still your main, your medium, your mode, but now you get to understand how it comes into play when it comes to a business. You get to understand what does mean actually mean in a business. How is it relevant to a business? Then you move into your forecasting and predictive analytics using Excel. You learn how to use Excel to predict, to forecast. Your Tableau for data analytics, because in the data science program, you are going to be learning about the you are going to be in the data science program, you are going to be learning about the three kinds of analytics: your diagnostic, your descriptive, and your predictive. That's the reason why it's actually called the full stack data science, because you are learning both areas. Hence the reason why you have your Tableau for data analytics. Then your SQL, you get to learn Python programming, because with Python, that's what you're going to use for your EDA, which is exploratory data analysis, and also for your machine learning. Your computer vision, GitHub for version control, and also your Microsoft Fabrics for analytics. The average pay for a data scientist in the UK is 55,000 pounds. In Canada, 94,000 Canadian dollars. That's the average. Of course, you have people that earn well over six figures in Canada, and in the US as well, 121,000 US dollars. Again, this is the median. We've had participants that earn above this, and when I say above this, I mean the gap is huge. Okay, so that is what it takes to be a data analyst. That is what a data analyst does. A financial analyst is a data analyst. That's something we need to understand. Sometimes it's like, oh, so financial analytics, that means I'm only going to work as a financial analyst. No, a financial analyst is actually a data analyst. But a financial analyst is a data analyst that specializes in finance. It's just like in the hospital now, that's in medicine. You have the surgeons, you have the GCP. Or that's just GCP, sorry, you have the GPs. The GPs are your general practitioners. So maybe you are having a stomach ache or you're having a headache. You go to the hospital, you meet with a GP. And the GP tells you, okay, this is what's wrong with you, and tells you what you need to do. The GP can fix general body problems. But then when you are having situations, so let's say you're having a leg ache, or maybe you're having a bone problem, and then the GCP takes a look at that and sees that, okay, this is beyond me. You are then referred to a specialist, in most cases a surgeon. So a surgeon is still a doctor, just like the GP is a doctor. The surgeon is also a doctor, but a surgeon is now specialized in treating of bones. In this case, that would be the orthopedic, okay, or the ophthalmologist. I think it's the ophthalmologist. Or is it orthopedic? What is it? Is it Anyways, you get what I mean. Okay, so that is, so you now have that surgeon that is specialized in that area. That is the same case for the financial analyst. Just like the GP can also treat, just like the surgeons can also treat, okay, orthopedics, thank you, Bright. So just like the surgeons, surgeons can also treat, the fact that the surgeon is specialized in just an area doesn't mean they would not have some idea on general body functions. And that is still the same case for the GP as well. That is the situation when it comes to the financial analyst and the data analyst. The data analyst analyzes general business data, while the financial analyst is an expert when it comes to finance, building financial models, valuating the business, helping the organization understand the areas that they need to go in when it comes to investment, and maintaining the financial health of the organization. The average pay for a financial analyst in the UK is £51,000. In Canada, it's 69,000 Canadian dollars. In the US, it's 74,000 US dollars. And then moving on, we have the HR analyst. The HR analyst, just like the financial analyst, is still a data analyst. But a data analyst that focuses on what? On people data. A data analyst that focuses on what? On ensuring that the talent of the organization is optimized and maintained. Excuse me. So the HR analyst also learns things that the data analyst would learn, similar to the financial analyst as well. That's your problem solving, your Excel, your Power BI, your SQL, and then moves into the HR field. Your HR analytics and performance evaluation, HR metrics, HR analysis, understanding how to apply data in reducing company attrition, in optimizing talent recruitment, in ensuring, in improving employee satisfaction. HR analytics has transcended what used to be your mundane HR, where what HR just used to do was, okay, maybe you had to go on leave, or you need your pay, all of those kind of things. No, with HR analytics, it's now beyond that. So HR analyst is still a data analyst as well. And what is the average pay? The HR analyst in the UK, that's £38,000. In Canada, it's 71,000 Canadian dollars. And in the US, it's 62,000 US dollars. For cybersecurity, a cybersecurity analyst is a professional that helps safeguard the company's resources, talking about their networks and their data and their data from cyber threats. They prevent all of this information from getting to those that are not authorized to have access. A cybersecurity analyst understands that maintaining an organization's privacy and protection is very, very key. And in the cybersecurity analyst program at Testimonials, there are 4 major areas you're going to be taking a look at, because in cybersecurity, there are different aspects, there are different careers. So the 4 career paths you'll be taking a look at in the cybersecurity program include your HR analytics, include your SOC analysis, your penetration testing, your threat intelligence, and your GRC, which is your governance, risks, and compliance. So these are the 4 areas you'll be taking a look at. Understanding how to work with tools like your Wireshark, your Cisco Packet Tracer for your networking, your VMware, your QRadar, your Azure. That's when it comes to your CM2s, your Kali Linux as well, because Linux is like the default operating system for every cybersecurity analyst. And the average pay in the UK for cybersecurity analysts is £57,000. In Canada, it's 140,000 Canadian dollars, and in the US, it's 105 US dollars. So that's the average pay for the cybersecurity analyst. And one fantastic thing about each and every one of those programs, that when you get into them, you would have the opportunity of including Testimonials and Amdari on your CV, because your internship, you'll be interning with Amdari. So the 6 months of learning, you get to learn with Testimonials, and then when it's time for your internship, you'll be interning with a company called Amdari. So Amdari is a very, very fantastic organization, and they're based in Canada and also registered in the UK as well. So they are registered in Canada, they are registered in the UK. So when you read the reference, you know that your reference is fantastic, because you can get a reference from either Analytics or you can get a reference from Dari. So it doesn't get better than this, because some recruiters would want you to present multiple references. So you can either get a reference from us or a reference from Dari when the time comes, right? So that is what you are going to be doing. Intern, you learn with a leading tech company, and you also intern with a leading tech company as well. Everything I've been saying so far, remember the 6-step approach, where I said that for you to get a job, there are things you have to do. There's a route you have to follow. This can be summarized into the job equation, which is the T plus E. For you to get a job, you need to complete the job equation, which is T plus E. T being the technical skills. You have to have the technical skills. That's a given. That is you understanding the tools that you need to be able to function for you to be able to work in that role. But what would actually get you the job is your employability skills. The technical skills will tell them that, oh yes, you have the skills, but the employability skills is what would ensure that your technical skills are seen. You could have the skills required for you to land that job, but if you don't have employability skills, the recruiter would not even know you exist. That is what we understand, and that is why many of our participants are very, very much successful, because we understand that this is necessary for you to get a job. And that is why, in addition to the technical skills you'll be getting, the additional benefits you'll be getting, you begin with your CV review and revamped, with your CV review. So your CV will be reviewed and your CV will be revamped. Fantastic. The CV is the gateway to everything. Many people apply to jobs and they did not know they did not apply to that job. I will tell you what I mean. You go on LinkedIn, you search for a job, you apply, you send your CV, you hit send. You feel like, I've applied. In the next 2 weeks, I'm going to get a call back. You feel like, I've applied. In the next 2 weeks, the recruiter would call me, would take a look at my CV and would call me back. And the situation is, you did not even apply. What do I mean? When you hit send, the applicant tracking system also hits delete. At the end of the day, the CVs that the ATS presented to the recruiter, yours was not a part of it. Because the ATS would screen CVs to take a look at those that it feels would be the right candidate, and we present the CVs to the recruiter for the recruiter to take a look and go ahead to schedule an interview with any one of them. When your CV doesn't even pass through the ATS, it means you were never even in the running. It's sad, but that's the truth. That's the reason why you could go ahead and apply for 2,000 roles and you don't even get any callback, not even a single interview. So it would help you work on your CV, would show you how you can work on your CV to ensure that your CV passes through the ATS, how you can tailor your CV using the job description. So your CV passes the ATS and gets to the recruiter. And when it gets to the recruiter knows that you are the one for the job and goes ahead to schedule an interview with you. The ATS is called the Applicant Tracking System. It's a device, it's a system that's used in filtering out CVs. And that is what many organizations use nowadays. So that's very, very important. You would also be shown how your CV will be shown how you can tailor your CV to every job description, so that when you're working on any job, you know, okay, this is what I need to do. This, because you are not advised to use one CV in applying to multiple jobs. That is not advisable. Then we also have the LinkedIn optimization. LinkedIn is so important right now that you are always advised to add your LinkedIn profile to your CV when you're applying to jobs. You're applying to jobs. It's very advisable. Okay, add your LinkedIn profile in there, your LinkedIn URL, so that as soon as the recruiter clicks on that link, it takes them to your LinkedIn profile. Why? Because recruiters want to know if you are really who you say you are on your LinkedIn. They want to see if you've ever done things that are relating to what the job has to offer. So there are certain things that need to be on your CV, and the great thing that needs to be on your LinkedIn. And the great thing about LinkedIn is that I love to refer to it as the Facebook of professionals, because you have recruiters on LinkedIn that headhunt. I am one of them as well. I can't count the number of people that I've recruited on my team for them to join me working on certain projects, either on the contract basis, whereby, okay, I'm working on a project with a team. I'm working on a project with an organization. I need the team to work with me so we get that done, as soon as possible. I don't have the time to start sending a job post. So what I do is I go on LinkedIn and then I search for these roles. After searching for those roles, a couple of profiles pop up. I open some. There are certain things that will attract me to your profile. I don't open every profile. There are certain things that would attract me to your profile. So I open up your profile. Number one is your profile picture. That was like the very first one. Okay. So in LinkedIn is not Instagram. You don't want to be taking pictures where you're like posing like this. Okay, or you're posing like this. It's not Instagram. You're posing pictures where you're eating. Okay, so there are certain things that would attract me to your profile. And then I click on a couple of profiles. I take a look at the content, the featured. I take a look at the featured, some of the posts, the experience, all of those things, and then the skills as well. And then if I feel you have what it takes, I then reach out to the person, because with my account, I can reach out to anyone on LinkedIn. So I reach out to them, telling them, okay, I have this opportunity for you. If you're interested, I explain the job description, all of that. If you're interested, send me your CV and we can schedule an interview. So those that are interested, send me their CV. I schedule an interview with them. And for those that scale through, they get in a contract with me. We work for a couple of months and then they get paid well. And of course, that's the end of that. And there are also sometimes where I recruit people and they become even full-time people as well, full-time staff. And this is the same situation for so many recruiters. So that cannot be the case for you if your LinkedIn profile is not well optimized. Your LinkedIn profile has to be top-notch, exquisite, and will guide you through how you can achieve all of that. Then you have navigating the job market. You just moved to a new country. You just moved to Scotland. You just moved to Poland. You don't understand the job, you don't understand the job market. Many people say, oh, it's difficult to get jobs in Poland. Poland is not friendly. And Poland, we have so much success in Poland. We have Benga, for instance, Benga that got 2 different jobs in Poland. We have Bukola that got a job as a full stack data scientist in Poland as well. So we'll show you how to navigate the job market, job boards you should be looking out to, you should be looking out for, the way you should apply to jobs. Maybe if there's a certain time you should apply to jobs. We bring recruiters, people that actually recruit people in these countries to join sessions and speak to you on what they look out for. They tell you their green flags. Okay, they tell you they are green flags. We always talk about red flags. What about green flags? We are even have a similar session. We have a similar session tomorrow for our participants, anyways, whereby we are bringing a tech recruiter, a recruiter from Silicon Valley that employs so many tech talent, that's going to come speak on what they look out for. Okay, this is what I look out for in a CV, because something about recruiters is that they spend 2 to 6 seconds max taking a look at the CV. So if you think they read your entire CV, you're joking. So what are those things they're looking out for that will determine, okay, I would speak with you or not? It's during the interview that many of them decide, okay, you know what, I want you or not. The interview is the stage where, okay, I don't want you, I like you, I don't like you. The CV is just, are you interested enough? Do I think I should even speak with you? So that's what that session is meant for, navigating your job market. And then you have interview prep, where you've gotten the job, or rather, you've sent your interview, you sent your CV, and you've gotten an interview. But you want to know if you are really you've applied for the job, you've gotten the interview, right? But you don't just want to stop there, and we don't want to stop there as well. We are not just interested in you getting an interview. No, we want you to get a job. That is why you can go ahead to schedule a one-on-one session with a professional that will take you through everything you need to know about your interview, how you can answer questions about yourself, so answer questions about your experience, so working on technical interviews, all of these things. The testimonial I played earlier about Ikmat, you listen to Ikmat, how Ikmat mentioned that she was interviewed by Muhammad, one of our fantastic facilitators, and how everything Muhammad mentioned, these were the questions she was getting during the interview, and it was like just a revision. That's what you get from the interview prep. So you land that job. Then you have the job reference letter. I spoke a little about this earlier, where once you get to, as long as you're a participant and alumnus with 10Alytics, you are sure of getting a reference letter from us when the time arises, either from 10Alytics or from Amdari. And then on the job support, you've gotten the job, but you need help. So maybe you've been given a task that is not so clear, and you need someone to jump in to just guide you on what to do. We offer on the job support. So you can always reach out to us and provide guidance. So you go back to work, so you do amazingly well. The mentorship session, this happens weekly. It's a weekly mentorship session where you are mentored every week by industry leaders on new ways to apply to jobs, new things you need to do in the industry, new trends, and encouragement. So offer encouragement as well. Very, very important. Because sometimes when we apply to 10 jobs, we're not getting any call back, we feel dejected. So this industry leaders come in and tell you, okay, you know what, it's fine. This thing also happened to me as well when I was looking to transition. And this is what you need to do to make a change. Because mentorship is very, very important. It helps you achieve your goals even faster. And if you're looking to freelance, you want to get into freelancing, the Upwork optimization session is for you. Okay, so on Upwork, on the session, you get to learn how you can navigate through Upwork, how you can go ahead to spend it connect, how you can write an outstanding proposal, how you can ensure that clients see your proposals, and of course go ahead to give you that gig. Because on Upwork, it's a bit tricky. For you to apply to jobs on Upwork, you need to pay. So Upwork has a payment system, a currency system. So you pay to apply to jobs. So you need to learn how to navigate through all of that. Okay, so that is what you'll be getting in addition to the additional skills, which will make you stand out to ensure that you do get that job. And again, so many people we've been able to help. So many people we've been able to help. So many. Lois, from Lois to Ngozi to Oluwadamilare to so many to Busola to Abigail. We helped Abigail transition from being a care worker, all right, in Canada, to join our business analysis program, and she landed a job as a business analyst with the government of Alberta in Canada. So Busola that would help get a job as a performance analyst in Desjardins and Canada as well. To Fola that would help get a job as a business analyst with the government of British Columbia in Canada as well. To Benem that will help get a job as a HR analyst in the US. So many. We could spend all day here, like all day. We could literally spend all day here. The session we've just had today, we've had similar sessions in the past couple of weeks, right? Over time, we've had similar sessions where we brought in those people to speak to you guys on how they were able to land a job, on how we helped them secure a job after training with us. This is just an example of the session, right? So you can see we've had so many sessions where we brought in so many people. So you can always just go back on YouTube as soon as you get access to these slides. You can just watch some of the sessions to also listen to the stories of each and every one of these individuals. Fantastic individuals, I must say. Okay, and yeah, and of course we are always looking to upskill. Like I mentioned, our goal here is we are Santa Claus. Our goal is to make your dreams come true. And what do I mean by that? Our goal is to help you transition, land that job in tech. That is what you want. That is what we are here to do. And that's why we are always looking for more ways to upskill, to even give us more resources and more power to even reach more people, to be able to get, make your dreams come true. It's like Santa. Santa needs those reindeers to travel from chimney to chimney delivering presents. Okay, and that's why we are always looking for ways to upskill to help you achieve your goals as well. And once we were accepted in the Alberta Catalyzer program in October last year, and I think we completed that this year, and so that opened more opportunities, gave us more ideas on how we can reach even more people across the Black community and helping you land your dream job even faster. Okay, and of course we are also registered with the we are accredited with the American Council of Training and Development. That's the ACTD. So as soon as you get access As soon as you get your certificate, you know for a fact that your certificate is going to come with the ACTD logo. Okay, so all our certificates has the ACTD logo because we are accredited with the American Council of Training and Development. This is a testament to the kind of training that we deliver on. So if you know you need access to the materials, the recording, the session recording, all of that, ensure you fill the feedback form. Ensure you fill the feedback form that has been sent to the chat box. Okay, please ensure you fill another feedback from the attendance form. Okay, ensure you fill the attendance form, very, very important, and you will get access to all of these materials. Okay, so that's it. Now, what are you going to start doing? What are you going to start doing? Okay, how are you going to get into the program? What do you need to do? It's still early in 2025. I think this is March. Yeah, this is March. We just got into March. So we're still in the first quarter. It's not too late for you to make that decision to get into tech, for you to go register for that program and get that dream job. And for you to do that, you just need to be a part of our next cohort. And our next cohort is on March 8th. So the next cohort begins on the 8th of March. On the 8th of March, which is about 4 days from now. 4 days from now. So if you want to be a part of that program, it's very, very important. I know you want to be, so we help you achieve your goals as well. There are 2 plans. There's the 8 months plan and the 12 months plan. To be a part of the 8 months plan, the full amount is $900. And you can break this, the full amount is $900. That's what you get to pay. That's what you need to register. And for the 12 months plan, it's $1,200. But at the moment, we are running a discount. Okay, we are running a discount of 20% off for the first 20 persons to register. I think the last time I checked, we had about 3 more persons, 2 more slots to fill up for, I think, 1 or 2 programs. So you want to get on that as quickly as possible. But you want to start registering right now as we are speaking. Okay, you want to start registering right now so you get that discount. Because if you qualify for the discount, you pay 20% less. And so for the 8 months plan, you get to pay $750 instead. And you can break that down into multiple installments. That's $150 per month for 5 months. And then for the 12 months plan, you get to pay $1,000 instead. That's if you qualify for the discount, getting that extra 20% off. So you can break that down into multiple installments of £125 per month. So to make payments, all you need to do, just click on the link that will be sent to the chat box by my colleague. Okay, so once you click on that link, it will bring you over to the 10Alytics Enrolment Center. So I'm just going to show you what that looks like. There are 2 ways you can make payments. You can either make payments via the 10Alytics Enrolment Center, or you can make payments via our website. So once you click on that link, it's going to bring you over to, just give me a moment. Okay. So just give a moment for this to open up. All right, great. So it's going to bring you over to the 10Alytics Enrolment Center. And in here, you'd see that the discount is still running. The discount is still running. So if you scroll down a bit, you can see you still have the discount. So the discount is still running. So at this point, you can get access to all our program brochures. So you get to know what you're going to be learning and what you'd be expecting in each and every program. And then over here, you see the different programs. So for the program you want to register for, you just go with that. So if you want to register for business analysis, data analytics, data engineering, data science, HR project management, cybersecurity, financial analytics, or HR analytics, just get to choose that program. So let's say I want to register for data analytics. I come over to data analytics. I have the 8 months plan or the 12 months plan, and I get to select the one I want to go with. So in this case, let's say I want to go with the 8 months plan. So I click on the 8 months plan. I click on the 8 months plan, and then so just wait for this to open up. Okay, so we click on just give me a moment, please. So once you click on that, it brings you over to the main stack link, right? That's this point. And you'd see you have the different tranches. So you can go ahead to make payments for, let's say, one-time payments. If you decide that, okay, you know what? I want to make a one-time payment. You get an extra $50 off. So I'm going to explain this so you understand. So let's say at the moment, the full amount for the 8-month program, okay, the full amount is $900, right? The full amount is $900. And so, yeah, sorry about that. So the full amount is $900. So if you qualify for the discount, if you're a part of the discount, you get to pay $750. You got to pay $750 if you're a part of the first persons to register. And then if you decide that, okay, I want to make a one-time payment, or I want to break my payment into 2 installments. So I either want to make a one-time payment, or I want to break my payment into 2 installments. You get to pay $700 instead. I'll take that again. The full amount. This is the full amount. This is what you pay if you don't qualify for the discount. And then this is the discounted price. The discounted price. Discounted. And then if you decide to make payments in 1 installment or 2 installments, you get to pay $700. So you get an extra $50 off. Okay? You get an extra $50 off and you get to pay $700 instead. And that is available to you if you go ahead to make payments using the one-time payment or using the 2 monthly payments. But if you're not willing to go that route, it's perfectly fine as well. So you can go ahead to make payments either via the 3 tranches that's paying $250 per month, the 4 tranches, or 5 monthly installments of $150 every month. So for some of us who might be thinking, oh, but I'm in the UK, oh, but I'm in Ghana, I'm in South Africa, okay? Does that mean I have to go get a dollar card or something? No. So you don't need to worry about that. As soon as you get into this page, the system will take note of your location and will convert the currency, okay? We'll convert the currency to your local currency so you can make payments. So whatever you want, whatever currency you're using. So if you're in Ghana, that will be in cedis, all right? If you're in Nigeria, that will be in naira. The conversion will be done. If you're in the UK, that will be in pounds. If you're in Canada, that will be Canadian dollars. The conversion will be done and you can go ahead to make payments using your local account. So if I go ahead and select the 5 monthly installments, okay, if I go ahead and I select the 5 monthly installments and I click on secure your seat. So you notice over here that I have my different payment dates. So if I pay today, my next payment date will be on the 4th of April. The next will be on May 4th. The other will be on the 4th of June, and the last will be on the 4th of July. So I said once I go ahead to click on proceed to pay, you get a pop-up asking for your payment details. You insert all of that, you insert your email address, and then you go ahead to make payment. And then as soon as you make payment, your receipt will be sent to you via email with a link telling you to click on that link to complete your registration. So you can either click on that link or you can come over here to where you see upload your receipt. So you can either click on upload your receipt. It would also open up the completion form where you fill in your details, you upload your receipt, and you click on send. So once you do that, you get a confirmation email from us confirming your payments with your welcome kit that contains everything you need to be a part of your program. From how you can be a part, from how you can join into 10Alytics LMS, to the classroom, the community, the tools you'd need to install, all of those things. Okay, one other thing I would like to show us before we call it a day, I'd like to show you the 10Alytics LMS, how you're going to be learning. So just open that up real quick. So this is the 10Alytics LMS. So as soon as you make payments, an account will be created for you. So This is where you have the self-paced watch me do it videos. Remember, it's a hybrid approach. So you have those videos, you are also going to be learning in class. The LMS has so many features from Oluko. So Oluko is the 10Alytics AI. So the AI is there to assist you with so many things from career related questions to course content explanation, because the AI's model has been integrated with our curriculum. This is our very own AI. So just like the way Microsoft has Copilot or Facebook has Meta AI, so 10Alytics has Oluko. All right. So the AI has so many features. If you are having some code-based issues, maybe you're watching a video and you run into a code-based issue, you can also it can also help with that. So interview preparation to general questions, just any question, Oluko is there for you. So if you also don't want to speak with Oluko, maybe you would prefer having a more human interaction, there's no problem. So they have the community as well, where you can speak with the all right, you have the community as well, where you can speak with the SDAs, that's senior data associates, the data associate, the facilitators. You have so many resources available to you, so you can ask questions anyhow you like. So if you love asking AI questions, no problem. If you love asking humans questions, no problem as well. Okay, so there's so many features over here. You can schedule an interview prep. Remember I talked about this, okay, where you can go ahead to schedule an interview prep. So you select you insert all of the details, and then you select a professional that will be speaking with you. You select a time, okay, in the Google Calendar, and so you book up a time, right? And then you can also request for a reference letter and reference details. And over here, you can see your stats, where you can see your streaks and also your badges end. Because for every assessment you take that you complete, you get to earn a badge, and you can share this badge on social media, because we are a very big proponent of building in public. It's very important to learn how to build in public, so people know that you are actually capable and start reaching out to you for opportunities. Over here, you see we have you have the program. So let's say you register for the data analytics program. So the data analytics course will be assigned to you. So you can come over here, click on continue learning. So wait on that to open up. And then over here, you'd see you have all of the different videos. So you have your installation videos, and then you begin with your problem solving, where you have your problem solving videos, introduction to the different problem solving methodologies, all of that. And then
if I change this to
okay, and then you have your Excel, beginning with your Excel. Just give a moment. Okay, I have no idea why all of this is highlighted. Okay, but yeah, so you have your Excel, and then you have your week one. Why did I highlight all of this? Just give me a moment. I'm trying to take. Okay, great. So you have all of the different weeks from week 1 to week 2. That's learning about Excel. Then you have your Power BI, your Tableau, all of that. So from Excel, you have different modules. Your introduction to Excel, you have your module 2, where you start learning about Excel operations. So you select any of the videos and you watch, and you're not just watching, you're practicing alongside. Because over here, you'd see you have the course materials that you can download. So you can download the materials, so you practice alongside the facilitator.
times
In this
2.
case,
You see,
so
this updates
I'm
to
sure
6 because I
hear
changed this to 3.
So this is
If I change this to 5 and I press enter, you see it changes to 50.
Yeah, so this is Efemina, the co-founder of 10Alytics, a fantastic professional taking you through Excel. So you get to learn all of those things, and you're not just learning, you are practicing with the facilitator, like I said. And after learning this way, you also go to class and you learn some more. You work on more projects based on what you've learned on the 10Alytics LMS. And then as soon as you're done with that, you also have the assessment and quizzes that you can take to just gauge your learning, to know if you really, if you really understood everything that was taught. And you have a tracker for you to see how you're learning. You have the job tracker. There are so many features in the 10Alytics LMS. Okay, so this is amazing. This is very, very amazing. And I just want to show you a glimpse. So again, you want to ensure you register as quickly as possible, because there are so many people who've been able to help. The discount is only for the first 20 persons to register. So you want to get into that as well. So many people we've been able to help transition. So many people. We could spend all day, yeah. All day. We could literally spend all day going through all of the different people that we've helped transition to getting jobs. Thank you, everyone. I believe we had a great time. I know I did. Okay, so I don't know if we have questions. I can see a question from Caleb. I noticed that there are more job opportunities in data analytics than business analysis. Can I work as a data analyst with business analyst knowledge? Okay, great question. So data analytics and business analysis are two different career paths. They are not the same. The data analyst does this, while the business analyst does this. But as a business analyst, you are going to have some idea. You're going to have some knowledge when it comes to data analytics. So sometimes, yes, that will be enough for you to get a data analyst role, but they are not the same. The question that I would say, okay, yes, for example, as an HR analyst, can you work as a data analyst? Yes, you can work in some data analyst roles as an HR analyst because you have some data analyst skills, right? But for a business analyst, the answer is no. Except if what the Excel, the Power BI, and the SQL will do for you is that they will give you opportunities of working as a business data analyst. The business data analyst is a professional that is a business analyst, but a business analyst that also carries out some data-related functions. So yes, you can work as a data analyst, as a business analyst, but the roles are limited because you don't have all of the knowledge that it would take to be a full-fledged data analyst. Okay, so that's the question, Caleb. But yeah, you're going to be learning about Excel, Power BI, and SQL. Okay, and many times that would be enough for you to, or that would be enough to also open you to opportunities in the data field as well. Okay, so thank you very much, Choma. Thank you very much, Choma. I'm glad that you had an amazing time. Okay, so Nathan is asking, which of the program does not involve coding? Fantastic question, Nathan. So programs that don't involve coding, business analysis. So you have your business analysis, you have your agile project management. That's your agile project management. You have your financial analytics, your HR analytics, and your data analytics. These are the programs that don't require coding. The only coding when it comes to data analytics is SQL, but I don't really see SQL as coding. It's very, very simple. It's just like English. Okay, but looking at other tools, there are no coding involved. So the careers that you would code a lot, you have your data engineering. For data engineering, you're going to code a lot. Okay, then you have your data science. You have your cybersecurity. Cybersecurity, you're going to code as well. Not as much as a data engineer, but you're going to code as well. You need to understand things like your Linux commands, and yes, you're going to code as well. And you need to understand logs or those stuffs. So programs that don't involve any kind of coding: data analytics, HR analytics, financial analytics, agile project management, and business analysis. Okay, so Esther says, thank you, I'm in a similar situation to ICMAT. Which course did she go for, please? Okay, thank you very much, Esther. So ICMAT went for data analytics. ICMAT registered for the data analytics. I'm glad that you joined the session today, Esther, to see that it's actually very, very possible. And we would also help you to to achieve your dreams, Esther. So you could also create a testimonial for us, just like ICMAT did, and maybe one of these days you also jump on a session like this. Okay, so ICMAT registered for the data analytics program. Ponsa is asking, is it true that healthcare workers must do data analytics? No. The answer is no. If you're in healthcare, you must not do data analytics. It all depends on your skill set, on what you desire to do. Like what drives you. You have all opportunities available to you. Remember, I talked about background. That background is not necessary. And that's one of the reasons why we went through this 8 program. So you don't need to have any sort of background. Would help you out with everything you need to do in terms of getting that experience and for you to help you get a job. So it's not only data analytics. Data analytics is a great career path, don't get me wrong. Okay, but if that's not what you want, then you can look at something else. It's not just data analytics alone. For example, we have Abigail. Abigail was a care worker. Okay, so she also worked in the health sector in Canada. And Abigail transitioned to working as a business analyst, not data analyst, business analyst with the government of Alberta in Canada. Maybe we should also listen to Abigail's testimonial, because I don't think we have enough time. Okay, well, yeah. So if you know you have some other questions, all you need to do, just go ahead to book a session, book a clarity session. How can we help you get a job with Analytics? It's a session that happens every single day. So book a session and jump on that session and ask any question you want, and there are professionals on board that would answer each and every one of your questions. Okay, so I'm just gonna take one more question from. I'm gonna take one more question from so, okay, I think I've answered Nesa's question. What does cyber require coding? Yes, there is some elements of coding in cybersecurity. I think I saw another question. Is that all? Okay, I think that's all. I don't see any other question. Okay, but if you have a question and I did not answer your question, all you need to do, just book that session, and it's a question and answer session. Okay, so you can ask any question you need or any question you have, and responses will be provided. I'm glad we had an amazing time today. No coding in data analytics. Yes, so there's no coding in data analytics. The only coding you do is SQL, and SQL is very simple. It's not code, it's English. Just put it that way. But there's no coding in data analytics. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining in today. I had an amazing time. I'm sure we did as well. I know we spent a lot of time. And staying till this time, that shows that we really, really did enjoy the session. Okay. So I'm really, really happy that that was the case. I had an amazing time as well. Please ensure you go register as quickly as possible. The discount slots are filling fast because, of course, we are resuming the new cohort on the 8th of March. So if you want to be a part of that, ensure you go register. And as I always say, something we tell our kids, quick says the clock. Whatever you have to do ensure you do quick. Click on that link and register, and let's help you get a job. Okay, let's make your dreams come true. Cheers, guys.